Hey everyone, welcome to Snarf Talk with Chris.
And Jerry.
And this is our podcast where we give you a behind the scenes look as we create a comic book.
We're going to talk about TV, movies, comic books, and hopefully have a lot of guests, other writers, creators, and friends.
Check us out at snarfcomics.com. You can check out our blog and follow along with everything we got going on. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Snarf Comics. And please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes.
Enjoy the episode.
Woo!
Holy cow.
I am ready to go, Jerry.
We've made it. We are successful people.
Gerald, Alistair, Thurston, Percival, Reginald Snyder V, Esquire.
I'm here.
What have you been up to?
Well, Christopher, we, as in you and I,
Yeah.
went to
The royal we,
went to a thing.
the snarf, if you will.
Yes, it was us. We went to little show,
Just a little ditty.
little bitty show up in Chicago,
I believe they call that the
Chicago,
Wandy City,
the Wandy Chicago. C2E2,
the Windy City, folks.
the Windy City. We were right by the lake. We were looking out at the Whitecaps.
Literally, there's
the
a
ocean.
nice lake view and a bunch of cosplayers taking pictures of the lake
Yeah,
view. In
they
the
were
background.
and standing all like
Seductively and like
It's get rid of that crap. You're an alien. Quit being seductive. You know what I mean? Like what are those things? Those anime guys.
and be
those,
like when you're in the Chicago Comic Con,
But what are them guys that they hold their hands up and they're like
baseball catchers.
no, not them.
Oh, okay.
Oh shoot, is Goku one of them guys?
Oh,
that I'm
like
thinking
Dragon
of?
Ball Z?
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
you're a freaking Dragon Ball Z. Quit sticking your butt out. Put your butt away. Okay, like that's a thing at C2E2 or at any of these cons apparently. Like ladies have their butts out, and then there's a whole sign that says like cosplay is not consent.
It's not an invitation.
It's not. You're exactly right. But also wear clothes. I guess
I mean, I'm not complaining. Whatever.
I don't know.
What? Why? What about you and your patriarchal patriarchy
Just stop it.
needs to require people to wear certain things?
I don't know. What if I had my ass out the whole time, Chris?
I mean, I think
Would that be weird?
I'm
Makes people feel weird. Made me feel weird.
well. I think there's a double standard there.
There is not a double standard there.
I think people are generally okay with women wearing less clothing versus men.
Okay. There's a sexist thing right from Chris.
I'm not saying I
Oh.
agree with it, Jerry.
Oh my gosh.
Although
Here
I
we
do.
go. Although I do. Yeah, it was there's some pretty crazy cosplays, but there was really cool ones. There was a what's that
There's
guy?
a lot. I mean, this is like
Transformer. There's
Yeah.
like an Optimus Prime Transformer dude. He had a really good suit.
there's a lot of cosplay.
So anyway, we went to C2E2
Yeah,
right by the lake.
McCormick Place.
McCormick.
It is huge,
Gosh, it's
gigantic.
unbelievable. So we have a previous podcast called The Wizard of Snarf, where we had went to Wizard World.
Wizard World Madison.
That was Madison, but we also went to Wizard World Chicago prior to this. And I thought Wizard World Chicago was, pretty good size event.
It was. Where was that?
And-
I don't even remember. Was that at McCormick Place?
No, it wasn't. It was up somewhere else in Chicago, but it wasn't McCormick Place because it wasn't that big. It wasn't at the same. We didn't park in the same place. I know that, and it wasn't on Lakeshore.
I think it was at McCormick Place.
I don't think it was.
Okay.
We'll have to look back in the annals of
The annals of history.
history. But either way, I thought Wizard World Chicago was pretty big, and then I went to C2E2 on Friday and realized not even close.
Well,
not even this event is enormous. Christopher.
There's some differences, okay? I don't know. See, the thing is, C2E2 is or Wizard World is broke up in like different rooms.
It was.
So that kind of maybe makes it feel smaller than what it is.
Oh, you're right. It was broke up into different rooms because you could go upstairs for different things.
You're right. It was at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont by O'Hare there.
Yes, right by that one restaurant, where you get like meat.
Fogo de Chao?
Yeah, Fogo de Chao. Fogo de Chao.
I was actually just there.
When?
Like last month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Was it good?
I'm not a huge fan of Fogo, to be honest.
I've never been there.
I don't think it's worth really going to, but we
that's
went
sad.
in and sat down, and you turn your little hockey puck to
Yeah,
green, and they start bringing meat.
Yep.
We must have hit like the right timing, so we sat down. Within 10 to 15 minutes,
You ate
we
all
were
of
all
their
done.
meat.
We were all done eating.
No way.
I swear to God. We sat down, we turned them to green, and they just started flooding us with meat. It was like a meat barrage. They were throwing it.
Sounds like a dream.
They were throwing it. They were slapping us upside the head.
Slapping you with a sausage.
Yeah, sausages and freaking duck
Pork
patties.
loins.
So it was like a nonstop meat slot.
A meat slot.
Yeah, and in about 15 minutes, we were all done eating.
I got pink eye from a strip steak.
We're like, well, we just got a limo and drove all the way up here with a big group of people, and for 15 minutes worth of eating, now what do we do?
We're done. And now we're done. Spent a bunch of money. Got pink eye from a strip steak.
But we drank a lot, and
that's
then
good.
we stayed there. We ended up staying there for like an hour and a half.
And they let you?
Yeah, we didn't really.
So how do they do sides there? Do they do like family style sides?
They have a salad bar, a big salad bar.
So you go there, get like sides, and then all they do is bring you meat.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, man.
I've never done it.
Meat.
Meatolodian.
It's good. I mean, about half the meat is like not great cuts. Like
Is it chewy?
it's just not the best meat. And then there's stuff that comes out that's really
annoying.
good. And then there's then the bacon wrap fillets come out, and those are pretty good.
Yeah, but you're not selling it for me.
I don't think
when you tell me like it's poor cuts of meat, give me a break.
I mean,
dude.
if you are in the area and you want to try something different, and you got $50 a person burning a hole in your pocket, then you can give it a try. I wouldn't go out of my way for it though.
Well, what does this have to do with C2E2 is my question.
Because it's near the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, which is the home of Wizard World.
Wizard World.
Okay,
right.
so here's the difference. Wizard World, I think, it didn't seem as big, but it was probably similar in size. Had a lot better and more panels, I thought, at Wizard.
Yeah, I would agree. Although I was looking at Saturday's panels and they were pretty good.
Okay, so here's the deal. We were supposed to go pretty much all weekend. Well, we were going to go Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
I had an unexpected death in the family, had to get out of town. So we weren't able to go Saturday. As soon as we walked in to C2E2, we were both like, nah, shit.
Yeah, damn.
There is no way we're going to be able to do this.
And there
in one
isn't.
day.
There isn't. If you were to go and you went one day, okay, you could probably like run through the place, which is basically what we did.
If you're just like a casual fan, you could definitely go up for one day.
Yeah,
It'd
one
be
day would
totally
be
fine.
probably enough.
But if you want to spend, because Artist Alley, okay, so let's give a little breakdown. You walk in there, it's at McCormick Place, like we said. Out in the entryway, kind of going in there, there's bands playing, there's DJs going, there's tons of stuff going on.
Yeah.
You walk into the show floor, and there's, a huge showroom that's just booths of either merchandise vendors or comic book vendors or comic
everything
book
you could
companies
imagine.
or the Marvel booth, the DC booth. In the meantime, everybody's walking around in cosplay.
Everywhere there's people that are painted. I feel like it's a lot of body paint.
A quarter of the whole convention center is dedicated to the cosplay corner.
And don't you get sick from like covering up your sweat glands? Like, isn't that a thing?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think that,
Enlighten me, Dr. Gerald.
No, you literally said it while we were there. Because I said, you want to get painted but like the devil? Because they were doing like devil paintings for some
Yeah, you could walk up to a booth
unknown
and get
reason.
your whole body painted
red.
like the devil.
then
But
they
like
put
not just
horns on
red. Not just red. Like with shading.
Yeah, they had like cheekbone shading and horns that they put on you. I don't know what this was promoting. It was a show, I think.
Yeah, it was like...
Like an AMC show maybe? Or FX.
I
An
don't
FX
remember
show.
what it was for.
It doesn't matter.
It was
Either
the
way.
Geico booth.
Yeah, the Geico booth. I don't know why that's there either.
Or the Red Roof Inn booth.
That's the one that really bugged you. You were like, you got like angry when you saw the Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing?
I mean, it's like the Motel 6 of Motel 8. Like it's like Motel 8 is the highest class motel, right?
Is it? Is that a thing?
Of the motels? Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a high class
And then
motel.
there's like Motel 6, which is like where people go to overdose, and then there's the Red Roof Inn.
But wait, so is the Red Roof Inn a hotel or a motel?
It's a motel. Is it a hotel?
So a motel you stay in for like extended times, right? It's like a...
Well, you can. I think generally a motel, you access your room from the outdoors.
Is that what that is? I
Sure.
thought like a motel was the ones that you stay in. You like...
People
live
tend
in
to
them.
stay in motels longer, but my point is, I think motels, you access it from the outdoors.
In hotels...
In a hotel, you got indoor hallways.
Huh. Gosh, thanks for telling me that.
I could have just made it up completely, but
I believe you, but either way, Red Roof Inn, I feel like, is top tier. If they're at a C2E2 and promoting themselves, I mean, I didn't see a Motel 8 or...
yeah, because they're all too good.
No, I don't think they're good enough.
Oh, you make a good point.
I know I do. I want to stay at a Red Roof Inn now because I saw them there. And because
You know
it
what's
bothers
funny?
you so
I
much.
took a 7-hour. We left there, C2E2, at like 7 o'clock or
Did you
6
stay
o'clock
at
at
a Red
night.
Roof?
Well,
Tell me the
I had a
truth.
7-hour drive that night, like through the night, and I noticed every Red Roof Inn on the way after that. I swear to God.
See?
There's a lot of Red Roofs Inn across Iowa.
That's the promotion.
A lot of
Right there.
Red Roofs.
Roofs. That's the short of it.
Well, anyway, so we go in there, you walk around.
I guess that'd be plural, right? Yeah. Go
we,
ahead.
we got about halfway through. There's a huge cosplay corner. We didn't even go over there. There's along the back is all the lines where the celebrities are, where you go get their picture and their autograph. There were some big celebrities there.
Yeah. Paul Rudd.
Was it Chris Evans there?
No, he was not.
David Tennant was there.
David Tennant, Paul Rudd.
A bunch of people you guys would all know.
All of the Clueless
Freaks
cast.
and Geeks cast.
Yeah, Martin Starr. But like Alicia Silverstone. What's the guy
She's
from
the
Scrubs?
one that does the birding, the baby birding.
Right. We had to talk about that. And what I meant, I don't do that.
You said you did.
No, what I meant was I would bite food off of something to put on a tray. You know what I mean? Like if you had a steak, like I'd bite a piece of the steak off and put it on his tray.
Do you not eat your steak with forks and knives?
Not a baby. I meant like if I guess a baby doesn't really eat steak, like chicken or something. Like instead of cutting it with a knife, I've just like bit it apart before.
Okay.
That's not baby birding.
It's not the same as masticating it and then
No.
and spitting it
That's not
into your
chewing
child's
it
mouth.
up and using your saliva to break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
That's not that.
That's what Alicia Silverstone does. Batgirl herself.
Unbelievable.
Anyway.
This is the second episode we've talked about this, and I can't believe it. I never thought I'd ever talk about this.
So anyway, we go through. We saw the Ecto 1, the Ghostbuster, that car. We saw the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm. Took pictures.
Saw a lot of cool stuff. And then we there's kind of like an overlook balcony with a bar up there and a restaurant. So we went up there and ate, but then
pretty good pizza.
like the whole left side of the thing, about 3/4 of it is what's called Artist Alley.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just booth after booth after booth of artists, creators, and writers. And some are big name, and some you've never heard of, and they're all trying to pitch their book, pitch their story,
Here's what I
sell
realized.
artwork, whatever.
When I went back and started looking at our Instagram and a lot of the people we follow, like a lot of the artists we follow.
A bunch of them were there.
Oh my gosh, tons of them had booths there.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it.
And
Remember when I said Ryan Otley? I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that guy. We follow him on Instagram.
Oh, we follow almost all of those people on Instagram because once I started looking at Instagram, all of them were there.
Yeah.
And I felt kind of bad. I felt bad because I was like, man, I feel like we should have looked at Instagram before we went.
Yeah. Probably. So the problem we had there is we went to lunch, then we went to a panel that was on writing comics, and that was put on by the guys from Comics Experience.
Yeah. If you've never been on that website, go on it.
Yeah, it's really cool. But there were some big names on that panel, like Ryan. Come on, help me out. Higgins.
Kyle Higgins.
Kyle Higgins, I mean.
Yes.
I
Kyle
was
Higgins.
just thinking Ryan Oddly. Kyle Higgins, and then what was the other guy's name? I can't remember.
Gene Ha,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that what it was?
He's been like an artist for like 30 years. Kyle Higgins is a big writer.
But he's
written,
very young looking to me.
well.
I did not know that he was. For as long as he's been in the business, I thought he would look old.
Right.
He doesn't.
He was super cool because as
he
the
was
panel was going on, he was taking pictures of people in the audience and then making sketches of them and signing them and giving them
As they're speaking.
as they're speaking.
He had like a sniper scope on his phone
Yeah, it was
that he got, and he like clipped it on his phone and was taking up close pictures of people. Yeah, and then drawing them.
So we went to that. I thought, honestly, it probably wasn't super helpful.
No,
But
not in the
right at
slightest.
the last 10 minutes, they did audience questions. Some of those were pretty good and pretty helpful.
Yeah.
I wish they would have done that the whole time.
Yes, there was some good things that happened at the end of that, but the beginning there was just so much. It seemed like so much setup for like what they've done and what they're doing and why they are where they're at.
Right.
Like it didn't lend itself to what the podcast or what the panel was actually supposed to be
Especially
about.
since they talk a lot about work for hire for like Marvel and DC.
Yeah, like
and
that's
there's
not,
nobody in the audience.
and that's not
doing
attainable
that.
for any of us. Like we're not going to do that. You have to quit your day jobs to do that kind of stuff. That's
Right.
like a career if you were to get hired by them.
I think most of the people in there were like us that were trying to write an independent book.
Right. So it didn't, it was fine seeing all those people, and I've wanted to see Kyle Higgins for a long time.
But that
we
kinda-
never did get to talk to him, and I kind of didn't go talk to him because there were so many people standing around. There's this like one guy with all these plastic boxes on a cart.
Yeah, full of books that he
don't-
wanted to get signed.
Yeah, I don't know why he
So-
was there like that.
We wanted to spend a good chunk of our time at Artist Alley, talking to people, looking at artists, talking to artists, making connections. We didn't really get a chance to do a lot. I mean, we went through all of Artist Alley, but it was so big
Yeah,
that we had to kind of book through it.
And we did. I mean, we covered all of the ground that we needed to cover. It's just that we didn't have the time to talk to everyone. And I think we would have taken more time had we known that we had a second day.
Yeah, definitely. If we had a second day, we would have done what we did the first day and then gone back and probably done a lot more panels and talking to people.
Yeah, I think we would have taken more time to.
Definitely would have drank more,
Talk.
probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would have happened. It didn't this time.
So about a quarter of the floor is devoted to places selling merch. Like figurines, pops, things like
Yeah.
that. And then
They've got like
I would say
2-story tall like towers of shirts.
yeah.
That I don't know how they ever
We
get them
didn't
down.
even really go in that area too much because we just were short on time, but there were a lot more comic stands selling comics.
There was, and we
cleaned up, man.
yeah, we did pretty good. I feel like I should have bought a Swamp Thing #1.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
There were so many of them,
And I really
the very first
regret-
place we went had the cheapest #1 that I felt like was just as good a quality as the rest of them.
Yeah.
And we never bought any, and everybody had them.
Everybody had that book. It's not really a super valuable book, but
No, but it is a #1, and
it's not a first appearance though.
no, it's not a first appearance, but it's a #1 of Swamp Thing.
Right.
I mean, it's Swamp Thing's first comic book.
I really, really regret
Shoulda got
not
it.
buying Swamp Thing 21.
Yeah, you really should have.
And we only saw that in one booth.
one place, the same place that you got 20.
Okay, so here's what I picked up. I got a Batman #7, which is
Swamp Thing #7.
Swamp Thing #7, which is the first cover with Batman on it.
Yes.
Jerry also got that book. He got that book really early for like almost nothing.
$12.
And the guy, he gave it to the guy, and the guy's like, "Ah, shit."
Yeah. No, what he said was, "Oh fuck." He's like, I need to go through these boxes and start repricing things. I said, "Sorry, bud. Like you priced it this way."
I ended up, I found later on that day only one other copy the whole day of Batman #7, and it was the last stand we
Yeah.
went to. And
I mean, you still got it cheap.
I got it for $25,
Yeah.
but it's nicer than your copy.
Mm-hmm.
A
Yeah,
little bit.
mine's. It's not perfect, but like we had talked about before, it's like
It's
what-
irrelevant.
It is. It's you like value it however you value it.
The only
right? So-
way I say that is not to like rub it in your face. I just meant I'm okay, but I spent a little bit more than I should have probably
Right.
because it was a pretty nice copy. So
yeah, and you do like to rub things in my face
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like you like to be better than me.
Well, I mean, that's why I initially said it, and then you didn't seem to respond to to my gloating.
Oh, really? Oh. No, but it really is. That's why I was like, it is a better copy, but mine's got a couple bent edges.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
So you also got, what was it? Nine?
Nine.
Swamp
yes.
Thing 9, which is the first 10 episode or issues of Swamp Thing are all Bernie Wrightson covers. They're all very famous in their own right.
Yeah.
All the first 10 covers look like movie posters almost. They're
They
gorgeous.
You see them a lot. Like if you were to search Swamp Thing, almost every one of these covers is going to come up because they're just like iconic Swamp Thing
Right.
images.
And of those, I mean, there's a bunch of really good ones, so it's hard to pick and choose. But 9 is probably one of the best, just because it's a close up of Swamp Thing coming out of the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jerry got that. You got that one. I spent all day hunting for Swamp Thing Volume 2, number 20, which is the first Swamp Thing written by Alan Moore.
Gosh.
We couldn't find it anywhere. And then the very last booth, we found it 2 copies.
2 copies at the same place.
And not on the wall.
And I have a
in
card.
the boxes.
I actually have a card for that company over, or the comic book store over there in that pile of C2E2 stuff. But yeah, they had 2 of them priced like $30 separate or
one
$20
was like
separate.
$70 and one was like $90. Made no sense.
Yeah.
They looked identical.
We took them out of the package, looked at them. They were basically identical.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they had it priced that way. And Chris, of course, takes the cheaper one. And how do I, barter a guy down? So what do you got it for? $60,
yeah,
right?
I bartered them down a little bit.
And then,
Which was probably too much money to spend for that book, but
either way,
it was in nice condition.
Well, either way, what I'm saying is you ruined it for me, and I couldn't bring the $90 one down any further.
Right.
So
I'm not even sure that when he
I'll
took the
never have that
$75
book.
one and the $91 one, that he put them back in the right sleeves.
No, I know they were the right sleeve. I did make sure that was the right stuff, but you couldn't tell a difference.
You couldn't.
And what I should have said to him right then is like, if you can't tell which one's the more expensive one, I need them for the same price.
Right. And then I picked up my crown jewel, was Swamp Thing 37, which is the first appearance of Hellblazer, John Constantine Hellblazer.
Constantine.
It's not, it's probably one of the hottest Swamp Thing books right now. It's not the most valuable. That would be House of Secrets 92, which is the first appearance of Swamp Thing.
Yeah. And I do believe that it is the Keanu Reeves edition. No. Yes? No?
Yeah, it's signed by Keanu Reeves.
Right. Because he did. I don't know if you got that joke or not.
I did, because he was John Constantine.
Listeners.
Okay. That's a great movie.
It is such a good movie. Way ahead of its time.
So I don't know why I don't know why we focused in so much on Swamp Thing.
I don't know. We both did.
It's just so overwhelming. You have to pick a theme and roll with it, because
you do.
Otherwise you're going to spend all day there looking through millions of different. So it's a lot easier to walk up and be like, okay, go to the S's and we'll look at Swamp Thing.
And I agree. And
I collect Daredevil primarily, but I wasn't on my game. I couldn't remember what I had and what I needed, and I just didn't have the list with me.
I was dead set on getting number 7, Swamp Thing number 7, because I wanted that Batman cover. And then
now Jerry has both the first and second appearance of Batman on the cover. Of
1 and 53, or 7 and 53,
something like that. Yeah.
But I was just like dead set on getting that book, and then from there we just rolled with it and started getting every collector edition of Swamp Thing.
It was cool though. We both got great prices on everything, so I didn't come out of there with any buyer's remorse.
It was not at all. You did right off the bat, like right as soon as you bought the Constantine one.
Okay, I mean, because I paid a little bit more for that, but I did still get it about 30% less than what you were asking.
I know you did, and that's why after you got it, I was like, you're like, oh, that was too expensive. No, you brought it down.
Well, I didn't mean it was too expensive, as in like the book isn't worth that. I mean that like
stupid.
That's a lot of money to pay for a comic book.
Yeah, but now you have it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so some highlights, Jerry. What were your highlights? We had a bunch of them. We had a really...
Yeah, so a couple highlights.
We passed out over 300 Snarf Talk stickers.
We did. And that was really cool. Right at the end, when we were leaving, we stood at the entrance and passed out probably 200 of those 300 stickers.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for us is like, I don't know, like we have a hard time getting going, like passing out
right
stuff.
I think it's because
we're
it's
just
so
not something you're used to doing.
well, and it's so overwhelming when you first walk into this place and there's just thousands of people walking around doing the exact same thing we want to do. But
I wouldn't say most people there are.
No, I'm saying like they're all there to see the show, you know, and you're there to see people and do things and whatever. But and I feel bad for like I'm not trying to like hassle people, but I don't know. You just feel awkward trying to promote yourself, even though those people don't know you're promoting yourself.
Right. Well, anyway, we did pass out.
Yeah, at the end,
everything we had brought in with us. We didn't bring all our stickers because we didn't think we would pass out that many.
And so what we did, and what I realize now, is that when you stand at the entrance of a place, they think you're passing stuff out for the show.
Yeah, they think you work there.
And that really lends itself in our favor because they all were like, oh, yeah, I'll take those free stickers.
I think there was a lot of interest, honestly.
Yeah, I do too.
I haven't seen our numbers go up very much or at all, but
no.
I think there was some interest there.
I think we'll get a few listens here and there from that. You know, I think it's what I was telling people is like, it's like everything you enjoy about C2E2, you'll enjoy about this podcast because it's basically everything you can see there we talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
So what else? We got to see Neil Adams.
Like
right away,
literally right up next to Neil Adams. He's obviously a
if you guys
very
don't know,
famous
he's
artist,
super one of the more famous artists and creators in comic book history.
Did a lot of Batman.
Been around forever. He's very vocal, in support of getting rights back for old comic artists, and he's just a very interesting, cool, outspoken guy, and he's created a lot in his life. We went over there. He was signing. He had his own booth. He's signing stuff that's really way out of our price range for the most part. Well, he had prints we could have gotten for cheaper, but I asked the guy right when we got there, I'm like, do you have original artwork? I'm not buying prints.
Right. And then we saw the original artwork.
Original art, like the cheapest things were like sketches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, big sketches, but sketches that were going for like $12,000.
I cannot believe
like
that.
Full pages for like $20,000 to $30,000.
Yeah, $10,000 to $20,000 you could spend for a hand-drawn page by Neil Adams. Like, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
But we got to see him nonetheless.
Yeah, he was right there. We didn't talk to him, but either way, that dude is so famous.
Legend.
And then Chris Claremont was there. We didn't get to see him.
No. Or Marv Wolfman, both of them were there right next to each other, and we just missed them. They were probably on panels, I assume, or out to lunch, so we missed them. But we did get to go talk to and see a lot of cool creators.
Yeah, and like I had told Chris, these places are... So if you go to a Comic-Con anywhere, this is the only like form of entertainment that you guys could go to a place and just walk up to these people and talk to them and see what they're creating and buy their stuff, have them sign it, do all of these things with the creator of what you love. You will not find that anywhere else.
Yeah.
You cannot walk up to some of the biggest names in Hollywood on a day-to-day basis or at a con. Like Paul Rudd was there. You had to pay a crap load of money to go see him, because he's like Hollywood famous. All of these guys aren't necessarily Hollywood famous, but in what we love, they really are. I mean, they're really famous people, and you can just walk up to them and say, "Hey, how you doing? Can you sign this?" Sure, I'll sign that for absolutely free.
Yeah,
like no problem.
I think one of my highlights was we spent a pretty good amount of time talking to Cullen Bunn.
Yep. If you listen to the Jason Inman episode, we talk about Cullen Bunn and how we are backers in his...
Yeah, so we walked up. I bought his book earlier in the day when he wasn't there, so I went back to get it signed. And he was there. He signed it. He was very nice. And I just mentioned, I said, hey, I'm really looking forward to Metro, when that's coming out. Metro is a book He wrote with Brian Quinn and the art by Walt Flanagan.
Brian Quinn is Impractical Joker.
And Walt Flanagan's from Comic Book Men. So I said, yeah, I'm a backer on your quick Kickstarter, and I'm just really looking forward to it. And he's like, oh, man, that's great. Cool. You know, we talked about it for a while. And he goes, and he looked at Jerry. He goes, you're a backer too? And Jerry's like, yeah. He goes, cool. I got something special for you guys. He pulls out from underneath the table, like special comic book preview editions that were signed by him and Brian Quinn. And just gave them to us. That was super cool, I thought.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. That he would do, like, just give you something like that. And he obviously had those there just for that reason,
of course,
I think.
Yeah.
Something like that, where he talked to people that had backed something, or somebody that meant a little bit more than just the general person walking up.
Yeah. And I gave him a sticker, and we gave him our business card and asked him if he wanted to be on the podcast. He said, yeah, that's cool. Definitely. Hit me up on Twitter. And he didn't just throw away our sticker. We saw him looking at it.
No, he specifically told the guy to put it in a book.
Yeah, so it was cool. We talked to, what was the other guy we talked to?
Howard. Jason Howard. Jason Howard is the artist that does the book Trees by Warren Ellis.
Yeah, and that's an awesome book.
It's really cool.
And the art in it's really good too.
It's unbelievable. I love the art in that book.
Really, honestly.
And he said that he was doing I think it's the 4th volume that he's drawing right now, and said that it should be coming out soon. So again, I talked to him about being on the podcast because Chris told him about iTrees and that business, and how he, had originally just bought the book because it said trees in it. Then I read it, and it's a really neat book. I should have put that on my list, or did I? I think I did put it on my list.
I thought about it for new readers. It's kind of heavy.
It is kind of heavy, but I think it's something that people could get into.
Definitely, because it's a different concept.
Yeah,
it's very cinematic.
That's a really good point. I've never even thought about that. It is really cinematic.
Right.
Yeah, it's different than a lot of comic books, but it's just a good book, and I love the art, and it just so happens we stumbled upon the guy that does the art. Yeah. And at the time, it didn't ring a bell. Well, I said, Jason Howard. I was like, I feel like I know that name from somewhere. Then we walk up past the booth, and I look down, and I see trees, and I was like, you're the dude that draws this.
Every booth, most of the booths are like that for us. It's me and Jerry walking by going, I totally know that name, and I don't know from where. And then you look at their work, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so great. And again, like, you will not find this in any other form of entertainment or media that you take.
And honestly, at really any other Comic-Con.
Really? You don't think so? Well, I mean, with that big
not
of names.
Not as big of names. No, but not at Wizard. Definitely not as big of names.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
This Artist Alley alone was like 3 times bigger than Wizard.
It was.
Wizard might have been just as big of a show, but the Artist Alley is a 10th the size.
But listen, we have this in our backyard, every single year.
Twice a year, for 2 different shows.
Yeah. Every single year,
great.
C2E2 comes around.
It is honestly,
it's great.
A huge, huge benefit if you're at all interested in being in that industry.
Yeah.
To have C2E2 and Wizard for that matter, and probably I think more C2E2. It's definitely more nationwide notoriety for that show.
Yeah.
But to have that in your backyard is just a ridiculous asset.
And then at one point we have Rob Liefeld.
Yep.
Creator of Deadpool. We're just like walking down an alley or an aisleway, and all of a sudden he just walks directly by us. Just right by us.
I'm like 99% sure it was him.
I know he was there.
Okay, then it was definitely him. Because I was going to say, I was going to look back later and be like, oh, wait, he wasn't even there.
No, he was absolutely there.
It was definitely him then. I know because we were right next to him at Wizard World in Madison.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, he just walks right by us. Everybody knows Deadpool nowadays because Deadpool was a huge...
Rob, he's superstar.
He is a superstar. He owns how much would it be now? It was originally 1/7 of
I don't know,
Image Comics.
It's like hundreds and hundreds of millionaire, probably.
Yeah. And he just, wandering around, no big deal. Walks right past us. He's literally walking around like a normal person. These people, you would assume, don't do that. I
remember we walked out of our panel and we were just standing there, and then all the people that were on the panel just walk out by us and they're chatting, and Jerry's just like, what? And I'm like, we got to stop putting these people up on pedestals because that's what we're doing.
It's true.
They're just normal people.
You really do. And you don't realize how normal they are until you're around them. and
that's
realize
why I
like,
really think, and especially next year when we go back, because I'm really committed. I think we want to have a booth next year.
yeah,
So we need to have a
absolutely
book ready to go, ready to sell them next year. And I think by having a booth and being there the whole weekend and probably going to the after events, and I'm assuming we'd get to a hotel and stay
Oh
out there.
yeah, and schmoozing.
We'd schmooze a lot more, and we'd probably get to know a lot of these people.
I feel like
some
I'm
more.
really good at schmoozing
Schmoozing and boozing.
because I look small and non-aggressive or intimidating,
Non-threatening.
and people like want to cuddle me. You
Yeah.
know, like look at that.
I don't know if
guy.
I give up the same non-threatening vibe, but
No, you're very threatening. Very threatening. Like
anyway, we got to keep this moving because we got a big
crap,
show-stopping event for the end
we
of
do
this
have a
podcast.
huge. I mean, we're only 35 minutes in. We do have a huge event, and we are starting what, Chris?
It is our March Madness Bracket Challenge.
March Madness Sci-Fi Fantasy Film Bracket.
Should we do that last? Do you get any news or? I got some C2E2 related news.
I didn't.
Quickly.
Actually, I don't really have any news except there is one thing I got to look it back up though. Hang on. Go ahead.
C2E2 related news is actually Marley sent this to us today. Indiana man.
Yeah, this guy.
Look at the picture of this guy. Indiana man charged with stealing rare comic books from C2E2 vendors. This guy looks like
Somebody that would steal
Somebody
comic
that
books from a C2E2. I don't know how else
he
to explain
stole
him.
like $9,000 worth of comic books. Just snatched them from people's booths.
Yeah, $9,000. There was like, 3 or 4 different booths, and one of them was like
totally got
$4,000,
caught.
$3,500,
Yeah.
$1,900. Yeah, and he absolutely got caught. Like, and guess what they used to catch him? Security cameras.
Which are all over the place.
Who would have thought McCormick Place has cameras all over the place?
Most of those booths had their own cameras. Didn't you notice that?
Idiot. Yeah, I noticed the cameras. That's why I didn't steal anything. And I'm kind of a
that's the
good
only
person.
reason?
I'm kind of a better person than you because I don't steal
I
comic
didn't
books.
steal anything.
No, I was talking to like him and like he was sitting
Oh,
in
because
front
you
of
said
me.
you.
I mean, you look like him. Let's get it straight. I thought Marley was sending it to me to tell me like, hey, listen, Chris is in trouble.
Well, she did. She wrote. I'm glad this wasn't you guys that got caught. I'm like, what the hell is
Oh,
that supposed
as
to
if
mean?
we stole comic books?
It would be really easy to do. I feel like there's not a lot of oversight,
No, it would
but
be
not for
pretty easy to do.
the ones that are worth money.
Yeah, the ones that he stole, if it's almost $10,000 worth
Right.
of stuff,
Those
he
were
was stealing things that
Those were wall books.
people were paying attention to.
Right.
Like idiot. You could easily take a stack of 50 out of one of them boxes and put it in your bag and nobody would notice.
Right.
And you'd probably have about $34 worth of comic books, you know?
Right. I
But
mean,
this guy took.
if people can't visualize what this
Yeah,
looks like.
that sounds better. I like
A
that.
comic book selling booth would be a usually double-sized booth or triple-sized booth that is just literally lined with long boxes full of comics.
Yeah, really big boxes full, just
Usually-
literally full.
Usually in alphabetical order and by
If they're-
DC and Marvel.
If they aren't, I usually don't hang out.
If they're not in
that place.
alphabetical order, we leave immediately. And then sometimes they'll have a key issues box
Mm-hmm.
or 2 hot boxes, and then behind them they'll have the wall books. So anything that's worth over $100 generally.
Yep, up on the wall, and it's usually what they call slabbed, which means that it's been graded and in a case.
Yeah, encapsulated.
Mm-hmm.
So, you don't usually get a huge deal on wall books. Everything's super negotiable. It's like a flea market almost.
Yeah, no, that's the way I explained all of this to Amy, is that any of these cons are basically like a flea market in a sense.
Yeah.
Even Artist Alley is that way.
What's gotten huge is this whole cosplay aspect.
Yeah, cosplay is very big.
It
it's not
blows
my
mind
thing,
how
but
huge it is. It's cool to look at some of it. A lot of it, you're just like, that's dumb.
well, yeah, I like looking at that. It's just not my. It's not my thing. I'm not gonna dress up as anybody unless I might dress up as Nathan Fillion one time as a brown coat.
A brown coat.
But all you have to do is wear a brown coat.
See, my thing with it is I don't dress up for Halloween. I just don't feel
Yeah, I
comfortable dressing up in costumes. It's just not my thing.
I used to be huge into Halloween.
I could
but
see you being a big Halloween person.
I used to be.
So why wouldn't you like cosplay?
Right
It's the
before,
same thing.
right before Amy and I, or right before I deployed, and Amy and I were starting to become like a thing.
Getting
Like being, an item.
an item.
Yeah. I literally ran around her house in a Batman costume. I was like knocking on the windows, and I had a cape.
You were a pretty douchey 17-year-old, weren't you?
I was actually out of high school at this point, so I would have been almost 19, and
So,
it was
wait,
so fun.
You'd be one of those, like, all these...
But I had a really cool cowl, like a rubber cowl, like from the
I bet it was super
89, the Batman 89.
cool. I 100%
it was so
believe
cool.
that it was cool.
I was doing cool cosplay before cosplay was ever cool.
Cosplay probably wasn't a big thing back then.
It was not.
You might have invented it.
I did. No, that's what I was coming here to tell you, is that I've invented cosplay.
It's become like
outside
the main...
of Gary and
I feel like
Kathy
it's
Lowry's
almost,
house.
It's become like the main focus of conventions now.
Yeah, it is pretty big. It's not my main
Like
focus.
half of the panels are on cosplay.
They really were. Oh, that's what I was going to bring up is that, so Sci-Fi Wire had a big stage, the main
Yeah,
stage
we
there.
never went over there, but they had some good stuff going on.
Yeah, Saturday they had a lot of good people up on stage, and that's when like the Clueless reunion was there with Paul Rudd. And,
Oh, they had the Freaks and Geeks reunion
and
there.
Yep,
That
all
would've
of them
been
were right
amazing.
there, and it's literally right in the middle of the
It's not big.
floor.
I mean, it's big stage, but
Yeah, but you could literally stand around the
Yeah.
stage right up next to them while they're doing their thing.
yeah.
You don't have to buy a ticket to it.
What is it that makes
Cool.
us so excited to see people that we perceive to be famous?
I don't know. It's
Like, they're just people. What is it?
they
what
are,
is
but
it?
they're people that you see on screen that you like the character of that person. You don't
Right.
like that person, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you see the person, but you're thinking of them as the characters you love.
Right. I mean, I get it for the comic book creators because these are people that have written stuff and drawn stuff. These are talented people, and actors are talented
Yes.
too. I'm not saying they're not, but it's not the same as to me, acting isn't the same as a creator.
I agree.
But I'm still, and I would be less excited to see an actor than say Neil Adams or a creator.
Right.
But I would still,
Or
if
like
you saw,
if I could, like you saw Scott Snyder last year.
yeah, I mean, that actually, no, Capullo.
I thought you walked right up to like Scott Snyder.
To Capullo. Remember that was my story. It's Capullo, bro.
Yeah, it's Capullo, bro. I forgot. Yeah,
I think
you're right.
I think Snyder was right next to him though.
They were there. I know
Yeah,
they were right
they were
next to
right
each other.
together.
That's if I could meet one creator, that's the dude I would pay money to go meet.
Really?
Oh, I would absolutely.
I don't. Yeah. Maybe Brian K. Vaughan.
Oh, that guy too. Okay, so two of them that I would absolutely
Right.
do that too.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not like crazy about celebrities, but it would have been cool to see some of that stuff.
I just want something signed by them, to be honest. But again, not Paul. I like Paul Rudd. I think all of his characters are
Yeah, he's
so
great.
funny. He's hilarious. He's really great in everything he does. He goes on Conan and shows the same clip from.
That's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. What's that from?
I don't know what movie that's from. but
I
it's
can't think of it.
hilarious.
Something in Me. It's about alien. This alien guy.
And Me.
And Me. Yeah. That's literally what it's about. And he shows the same clip all the time, and it's hilarious. Look it up on YouTube. It's very funny.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna pay money to go see him though. But these,
Well, I would pay
like you said,
to see David Tennant, but not $100.
right? That's too much money.
It's too much. I'd rather just find out what his schedule is, stalk him outside his hotel room,
Yeah.
and like jump out of the bushes at him.
Right. Or climb through the window.
Yeah.
And like while he's sleeping.
To me, that seems like a way more reasonable approach. And he would probably be, for sure, more memorable for
be
him.
into
like,
that.
He would
He would be
he
into
would
that.
keep you in his
be
mind.
like, you are the president of my fan club.
Yeah. I
'Cause
think
that's
you would
what
respect the tenacity.
And if you are the president of a fan club of someone, I think you've done that before,
I was
or willing to do that.
I'm really high. I've only been in a couple fan clubs in my life, but like one of them, I'm really high in. I'm like the number 12 in the fan club.
Oh gosh, what's this one?
Um,
Coca-Cola.
It's an obscure band from Naperville called Lucky Boys Confusion.
Weird.
You know them?
No,
Oh, they're a
Not
great
in the
band.
slightest.
They were big and like they weren't big ever, but
I am also. Well, I
I was like number 12 in their fan club.
was also in a fan club of a band.
What band?
My favorite band of all time.
Korn?
No.
REO Speedwagon?
No, I do like REO Speedwagon, but no.
Let's see. Your favorite band of all time?
Mm-hmm.
Morris Day and the Motherfucking Time.
No.
I don't
Not
know.
even close.
Who is it?
Metallica.
Oh, you're in the Metallica fan club?
I was in the Metallica fan club.
Douchey, though.
Who?
The Metallica people. Like, remember with Napster, all that?
That was just Lars.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, yeah.
And I would, if
What's
you
the
were
other
in
guy's
their
name?
position, I would. Kirk
Hammett.
Hammett. Yep.
He's awesome.
He's really good.
Yeah.
James Hetfield.
Oh, yeah. James
guitarist.
Hetfield.
Jason Newsted used to be their bass player, but he left.
I never
because
got
he's weird.
into Metallica.
Well, I
just
have
wasn't my
been,
thing.
and I'm really glad you like to tear
I
that
know
down.
that like boom, boom, ba-da, boom, boom, boom,
They have some of the
boom,
most
boom,
iconic
boom,
songs
boom,
of
boom,
rock
boom,
and metal of all time. They deserve their place in history, and I love them. And I've seen them 3 times. And
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
They're good. I'm
Love
gonna make
them.
a lot of enemies on this podcast by saying like Metallica's not my thing.
Yeah. I'm probably going to poke a hole in your tire before you leave.
I feel like when I was in
No
high
big
school,
deal.
everybody loved Metallica, but
There is a lot of bandwagon people. But,
no, I think it was like sports related.
Yeah, and it's all because of Fuel or Enter Sandman. Those are the only 2. And then like Seek and Destroy, I remember was a big thing on the football team.
Seek and destroy.
Yeah, which is a original song, like on their very first album. It's number 6. See, I can tell you exactly where songs place on all of their albums.
I can only do that with like Blink 182
That's weird. Why would you ever do that with Blink 182?
because I was like a huge super fan.
That's stupid. Theirs are kind of douchey, aren't they?
Well,
Those are the literal words you just said to me about Metallica. I can't do this anymore.
Tom
This
DeLonge.
podcast
Tom
is
DeLonge
over.
is pretty douchey. He
is.
like hardcore believes in aliens.
But then what about, what's the other guy? Mark?
Mark Hoppus.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is.
Travis
So is
Barker is the shit, man.
Yeah. Oh, he was on Joe
And
Rogan.
probably the greatest drummer of all time.
Oh, that's false. He's a very good drummer, but
He's
not the
in
greatest
the
drummer
top,
of all time.
Probably not. No, but he's definitely in the top 10.
You know who is the greatest drummer of all time?
Neil Peart
Yes.
from Rush.
Yep. That's exactly who I was going to say.
It's because he is.
He is. I know.
Or what's the guy from The Who?
Keith Moon.
Yeah, he's really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Barker's up there. He's in the top 10.
Yeah.
He
There's
is. He
a
like
lot.
he's across all genres. He's been in
But
like
then there was,
100 different bands.
Like a lot of people would argue John Bonham is also one of the greatest. He died very young.
yeah, come on.
I think
That's
he
like
was
saying
just very-
Ringo Starr was one of the greatest drummers of all time.
Oh, no.
because he
Ringo-
went boom, tsk, boom, tsk, boom.
Ringo Starr won't tell you that he was the greatest, though. And none of the Beatles will tell you that he was the greatest either because he's not very good.
Yeah,
It's like widely known. Come on. John Bonham was very good, but he was also drunk and high all the time, which is why he died.
who was the drummer for Van Halen? Wasn't it one of the Van Halens?
Yeah, one of the Halens. I can't remember his name.
It's like not Alex Van Halen.
I think
He was good.
what really impresses me about drummers is the guy from Def Leppard.
I saw them live last year at
Yeah.
Wrigley Field.
He lost an arm in a motorcycle accident, and he learned how to play his left arm
With
with
his feet.
left foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Tommy Lee, he was a pretty famous drummer.
We'll talk about him later.
What you're watching? Mm-hmm. I was gonna watch that last night.
Yeah, I
We'll get there. Okay, that's all the news. We don't want to do more news. We don't have time for that.
No, we
I
don't.
got time for that.
We ain't got time for that.
We ain't got time for that. I only got
How'd your kids? How'd
I
your
only
wife?
got 2 things I've been watching. I'll do them real quick because there's not much to say. The first thing I'll say is there is a little television show on the air right now
Okay.
that is the best show on TV, at least on broadcast TV,
The Goldbergs.
and probably one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
The Goldbergs.
No, but I love that show.
Okay.
And last week they had an episode that was such a good episode of this show, and standalone, just such a good episode of anything.
I don't know. Grey's Anatomy.
It's the Orville.
Really?
This show I absolutely adore. I love it.
I've never watched any of it. Like
It's
none
so
of it.
good, man.
Literally zero.
It's the perfect. It could use a little more because it is got a comedic bent to it. It's mostly a comedy.
I assumed that's all it was.
It's mostly a comedy, but it's deeper than that. It has some deeper moments, and it has some of that Star Trek political stuff and drama, and it's got all of that.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit on the more humorous side. But anyway, last week they had an episode. I think it was called Lasting Impressions. It was season 2, episode 11, and it is just super good.
Lasting impressions, huh?
Yeah.
Did it make an impression on you that
did.
will last?
It really did. It's a great episode, and what happens in the episode is these guys, basically it's Star Trek, so they're in the future, they're on a spaceship. They find a time capsule on Earth.
Okay.
From the year 2015. And they, decide they want to open this time capsule. Mm-hmm. Jerry is signaling to me for something.
I am. We can't talk
You're
about
like,
it.
dude.
No, I'm not.
Waving hand signals
I'm
all
not
around.
anywhere.
Trying to direct our podcast.
No, yeah, he was. And he'll do it again, I'm sure, in the future.
I know you're going to listen to this week because he's on Midnights.
Oh, yeah.
Don't direct me.
Yeah, never again will you do that. Gosh.
You're invited. You're invited on the podcast anytime.
Tomorrow, whenever you want, you can come back 100%. And
but
I want you to come back.
Not in a directorial capacity.
You are not my director.
No.
You can be a producer.
But Jerry's trying to direct me over there.
I was, but I wasn't.
Okay, they open a time capsule from 2015. Mm-hmm. They put a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff. This is like 400 years later. They're opening it.
Right.
And in there, they find an iPhone. So they are able to open this iPhone, whatever, and they find it's the iPhone of this woman. And she puts it in the time capsule. She records a video. She's like, hey, I'm just putting this in there. I just thought maybe it would help you understand our lives and my life. And she's like, you can think I'm a cool person. You can think I'm a bitch. You can think whatever you want, but I'm going to put it in there. So they're all fascinated by this because they've never seen anything like a cell phone or any of this. And they don't have, they're 400 years in the future. So this is ancient history to them. So one of the guys kind of starts watching her videos and kind of develops feelings for her, right? So
for the lady on the iPhone.
Yeah. Just kind of starts to make like a connection, like, oh man, this girl seems kind of cool, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they have on this ship what's called like a simulator room, kind of like where a computer you can go in the room and the computer programs a simulation.
Yeah.
So he jacks the simulator up to the phone so that it's able to download everything about this woman and then create her and a world that he can go visit in 2015.
Oh my gosh.
And he goes to the simulator every night and, he falls in love with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then he goes out, like one night she invites him because they've never done this on the simulator before. It's always been programmed, the simulation, by people. But it's like AI has conglomerated everything about her life, which exists in our phones, and made a simulation about that. So that's how he justifies, it's a simulation, but it's not the same as...
It's not programmed by a person.
It's programmed. It is her.
Yeah.
And so anyway, one night she invites him to bring his friends to game night. So he goes and brings his other crew members that are his friends to the game night. And they're just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he falls in love with her. And he just kind of goes on from there. And I'm not going to give away the end. It's just a really good episode of a really good show.
I need to watch this show then. So do all of them have like a non-comedic point?
Yeah, most of them.
So there's like heart at this show.
There's heart. Okay. There's comedy. There's a little bit of, I don't want to say like political drama, like kind of like the West Wing would have had. So there's like a point that they're trying to make. It's like the original Star Trek with more comedy.
Okay.
And it's just a really good show.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to check
good
it out.
actors and good voice actors. Anyway, so, I've always really liked this show, but that one just kind of was over the tipping point for
I
me.
didn't know that you liked it that much.
It's,
I guess,
probably the best show on TV right now.
Wow.
It's really good. So the second thing I've been watching comes directly from one of our best listeners, Mr. David Seedentop.
Yeah.
He gave us his top television shows.
Yeah.
His number 1 was Justified.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have seen the first 2 or 3 seasons before.
So you started watching it again?
10 years ago, whenever they came out.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
So I started the series over. So I just started it. Last night I watched 2 episodes. It's really good.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
It's super good.
I've seen the first season.
I know, and I'm watching it over.
Yeah.
And I remember what happened, but not enough that I can't watch it again.
Yeah.
And it's very compelling.
Dang, I need to watch that then. I started watching.
It's just how it's so much of a commitment.
It is.
It's like 6 seasons, and there's probably 20 episodes a season.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to have time to watch all of it.
Yeah, I don't feel like you will.
At 1 episode a night, and if I do that, I'm not watching anything else.
Right, so 120 days.
Right.
That's a lot.
So that's all I got. What do you got? We got to keep it moving here.
Yeah, I only had one show that I watched just last night, and it was The Dirt.
Yeah, that's
Netflix.
the Motley Crue one.
Yeah.
It looks really good. The trailer looks awesome.
It's okay. I mean, so the crazy part about this is how these people lived while they were Motley Crue. And from the beginning of Motley Crue,
They were, in fact, a Motley Crue.
it is unbelievable the things that they've done. And this is all compiled from
I didn't know it was quite that wild.
Like Nikki Sixx's biography or
Autobiography.
What I can't remember what that book's called.
The Dirt. No?
No, it's not, because it's compiled from like Nikki Sixx and I can't remember any other names. Mick Mars and
Tommy Lee.
Yeah, Tommy Lee, and then the lead singer. Why can I not remember his name?
I believe his name was
Vince Neil. There we go.
Okay. I was going to say Mr. Motley.
No. So Vince Neil, they all had like biographies that they have done, and they compiled all this stuff from there and then put it into a movie. And it's insane, the things that they were doing and how they've all survived. Like Nikki Sixx did die for a while. He was dead for like 7 minutes, and then they brought him back to life with adrenaline. Like literally,
I don't really consider that being dead then.
His heart stopped.
Well, but he didn't die.
You are dead when you have no activity, like brain activity or heart pumping. You are dead.
If he was dead, in my opinion, there's no coming back.
But medically, you're dead.
Well, I don't care about the medical definition, Dr. Snyder.
Well, I was a doctor for a time, and I've always told that to Amy, and she gets mad about it. Because the only reason I say that is because when I was deployed, I was giving people, like I did a combat lifesaver course where you could give IVs. You're not a medic, but you can give IVs and do little things like that. And I gave IVs to people before she did in nursing school. So I always give her crap and be like, I'm pretty much a doctor now.
I was basically a doctor too.
Were you?
I was a first
Nice.
responder.
Oh, that's right. Well, we had a discussion about this once before. I remember. Yep. I think it's actually on that first ever podcast we recorded.
You guys, I can't wait till you get to listen to the Snarf Talk Origins.
I'm pretty sure it's on there. Anyway, so The Dirt. It's just crazy how they lived. It's a fun show to watch. There's literally nothing in it that you're missing out on if you don't watch it. It's an hour and 48 minutes. If you've got 2 hours of time that you want to waste, you can watch it. It's
Right.
just fun. But they're not good people.
Right.
No.
Like
I wouldn't say that you need to live your life that way because you'd be a drug addict.
Yeah, I could live my life that way.
The cool part about it, though, is that
I kind of did live my life that way.
none of them are anymore.
No,
Like,
I know.
They've all came out of it and lived and realized that they were doing
Tommy Lee
the
has
wrong
like
thing.
hepatitis, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He did.
Like the bad one. Like
Yeah,
the liver one.
The C one. Hepatitis C.
Yeah.
Isn't that the bad one?
I don't know how bad it really is, but
I don't think it's that bad.
in any case,
Medically.
you're missing a big what you're watching.
Why?
You watched a big movie.
I did?
You watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Crap. You're right. I did watch that, and then I texted you about it because okay,
Do we have time to do a full review on it now?
we don't, but it was like the most groundbreaking comic book movie I've ever seen in my life. And I don't I don't know how you could ever beat that movie in what it did. The animation blew my mind.
Well, let's do a full review on it next week, because I want to rewatch it, and then we'll do a full review.
Okay. Yeah, the animation blew my mind. The story is great. It's so good. And when it was first coming out, and I saw that like Peter Porker, like Spider Ham.
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's goofy. Like, why would you do that? Awesome. He's one of the funniest parts, but he doesn't take away from the actual like dramatic effect of the show.
It's
unbelievable.
That scene where his dad's outside the door.
Yes.
Oh man.
And he's like wrapped up in the chair.
Yeah, it's super good.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, next week we'll talk about that next week.
We'll talk about that in more depth.
But I did watch that finally. I'm really glad I bought it on Amazon, and I didn't watch it again on Sunday like I thought I was going to, but I will watch it again here soon.
All right, we'll keep moving to the big event, the event you guys have all been waiting for.
Round
Before
1.
we get into that, I gotta talk about what we're doing in the rules and everything.
Yeah.
If you're already involved, you already know, and if you're not involved, it's too late. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. And before we start, I wanted to ask Jerry. Now, we just put this out, the bracket that you guys are aware of here. We just put it out today.
Yep.
And that was just, we're recording now on Monday. So you guys are listening to this on Thursday, hopefully. The brackets were due at 9 a.m. Thursday morning, the 28th, I think.
It is,
27th,
yes.
something like that. Do you think we need to give people another week? Because what we can do is we can talk about the bracket challenge, and then we can just cut it and record our second half of our picks and then release it a week later. We could do that easily.
Yeah. I do think they need more than
Okay, we're going to decide that
2 days.
when we see how many brackets come in. If we get a bunch of brackets in the next 2 days, we'll go ahead and release this as scheduled on Thursday.
Yeah.
If we think we need more time and more participants, we might cut this after we explain the challenge, and this will just be a short podcast, and tune in next week for the results.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're doing. We're doing our own March Madness bracket, but instead of basketball, college basketball, which I don't know anything about.
I don't really either.
We are going to do this bracket, which I got from my niece, Maggie. Thank you.
Yeah,
Maggie,
this is awesome.
And Zach, which is what's the best sci-fi fantasy films of the last 10 years? This was a pre-filled out bracket, pre-ranked. We did not pick
first round.
the movies. We did not decide what brackets they went in. We did not rank them in order.
Correct.
And I disagree with a lot of the movies and the rankings.
Correct.
But we are just going to go with it, because otherwise we'll never do it, because it'd be a ton of work. So somebody has went through the work of making this, and I'm going to respect that person and their wishes for all the work that they put into it.
And there are 4 different
Conference.
yeah, it's like conferences basically.
It's just like a March Madness bracket. It's the same amount of teams, same everything. We put this bracket out on Facebook and Instagram, and you can go on there. You can just save the image and print it, or do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I emailed it to myself.
You can make your picks. I think if you print the image, it prints out just as a full page. It's super easy.
Yeah.
You can make your picks. You can just write them in an email and email them to us, or you can scan or take a picture and email them to info@snarfcomics.com. Or if you're a friend of ours, you can just text it to me and Jerry.
Right.
If you don't have our personal cell phone numbers, then there's a reason for that.
A big one. I don't want you to have it.
No, I'm just kidding. But email it to that info@snarfcomics.com. There's going to be, we decided on the rules here. I'm going to have a winning bracket, and Jerry's going to have a winning bracket.
And mine will probably be better.
But those are the 2 winning brackets. That means there will be 2 overall winners to the contest. So the way that you win is by matching Jerry or I's bracket. We have the final say on what picks are best, what movies are best. And if you disagree with us, which you most likely will,
Oh, I'm sure you will.
too bad, so sad.
It just, this is our podcast.
Don't
so
complain about it. Don't bitch about it. I don't want to hear about it.
We're making the rules right
But
now.
you can have, you know what? You know the best place for you to have a conversation on how wrong we are and idiots we are? On Instagram and Facebook in the comments sections.
Right. Leave a comment. Tell us that we're wrong.
Let's start a huge thread. Also go on and like and share this bracket so we can get as many people involved as we can get. I think we had a lot of interest, so I think we'll get some. The winners of this bracket challenge. So the first round is worth 1 point each for each correct match. The second round is worth 2 points. The third round is worth 3 points each. Fourth round worth 4 points each. Fifth round is worth 6 points each. And the championship is worth 10 points.
10. Yeah.
So I didn't weigh it too heavily on the championship, like some like Yahoo or ESPN brackets, because I wanted somebody who picked a lot of lower ones right to still have a shot.
Yeah.
Even if they miss the championship.
I think that's a very good idea.
There's lots of different scoring ways for brackets, but that's the one I picked. So if this is the end of the podcast for you, that means we've extended the deadline to next Thursday. That's April something, 5th.
Yeah, it would be 4th.
Otherwise, we'll get started here and we'll go through our picks. If you have any questions, the winners. The winners are going to get a t-shirt. They're going to get stickers. And you are going to get a mystery gift card.
Mystery gift card.
Of our own choosing. And that can be to wherever we choose we want to give you a gift card to.
Yep.
Could be Amazon.
Probably.
Could be Hallmark.
Could be like a...
could be Red Lobster.
I was thinking more of a Red Robin.
Could be Red Robin. Could be Graham Cracker Comics.
I've never went to a Red Robin before, but apparently I need to.
You've never been to a Red Robin?
Never.
Yum.
So
the winner of Jerry's bracket's going to get that. The winner of my bracket's going to get that. So there's going to be 2 winners.
Yeah.
The gift card value could be $100, guys. It could be $500. It could be $5
or $10,000.
Yeah.
You never know.
You don't know, and we're not going to tell you.
Right.
Mostly because we haven't decided.
Could be a free tree for my trees.
It could be. It could be a cruise to the Galapagos Islands.
Yeah. To see all them big tortoises.
Yeah, and you can't wear like your shoes there.
Ride a tortoise.
You have to like wear new shoes.
Really? Do they give you new shoes?
They give you like booties.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't infect the
can't
tortoises?
Infect the Galapagos.
Isn't there Komodo dragons there?
No. You're
I
way out of touch.
I thought they were.
You're way out of touch.
Where are the Komodo dragons?
You don't know anything about reptiles and amphibians, do you?
I do know about the Galapagos tortoises.
Yeah.
They're big. You can ride them. I know they're like that big.
Aren't there Komodo dragons? Aren't there where those big heads are?
Them big lizard things?
The big stone heads?
That's how Godzilla came about.
Gojira?
Yes. Mothra.
The other day, Cash asked Marley, the wrong parent to ask.
Yeah, okay.
Mom, what's Godzilla? And I was sitting right there. I'm like, why are you asking her that?
Why would you ask Marley that?
So, what's Godzilla? And she goes, oh, it's some big monster that's old that's based off a book.
What book? Gojira.
And then I'm like, I think it was based off like a movie from like the 1940s.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, Gojira. Like a Japanese movie.
Okay.
She's like, there's books. And I'm like, well, yeah, there's probably like novelizations now.
Right. And you know why they wrote that book and movie? Or not a book, but just made the movie? It's because they went to the Galapagos and they found a Komodo dragon. Truth.
That's
100% true.
Disbelief.
No, that's 100% true.
All right.
And if anybody argues with me, then you don't win the bracket.
So we're going to take a short, quiet pause to make editing easier in case we decide not to do this.
Are we doing that now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So don't talk.
Pause starts now. Okay, if you're
right.
joining us now, it's because you are ready for the March Madness Snarf Talk Bracket Challenge. What's the best sci-fi fantasy films of the last 10 years?
10 years. And there's a bunch of things left out. But
You have your brackets ready. You know the rules. And if this is all part of the same podcast, you're like, what are you guys doing? But anyway, we're going to get started right now. We're going to start in the top left bracket.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that because I wanted to start in the top left.
Matchup number 1. We got a number 1 seed.
Against a 10.
A number 10 seed. Is it a 10? Mine's a little blurry.
Yeah, it's a 10.
It's a 16, Jerry.
It's a 16.
So this means that Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, was
yeah.
their 16 seed.
Yeah,
and
that's
Mad Max
ridiculous.
Fury Road is their 1 seed. Hey guys, on Chris's bracket, we got a big upset. I got Rogue One over Mad Max Fury Road.
I agree.
Advancing to the Sweet 16.
I also have the exact same thing. I do love Mad Max Fury Road.
This is one of those cases of shitty matchup because Mad Max is good. Probably should have got further up in the.
And he would have that movie would have gotten further up in my bracket had it not been matched up against Rogue One.
Definitely. But Rogue One, as we all know, is both mine and Jerry's top 2 Star Wars movies at least.
Yep.
I think it's my favorite, to be honest.
I put it as my favorite.
No, you had Empire Strikes Back higher. By the way,
shoot, you're right. Darn it.
We're going to keep it moving so we can try and stay under 2 hours here. Next matchup is a number 8 seed, Star Wars The Last Jedi, versus a 9 seed. These are neck and neck, Inside Out.
Inside Out. That is also a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
I like that movie.
Jerry, what was your pick?
I put Star Wars The Last Jedi.
You put Star Wars The Last Jedi. Well, we're not going to have the same brackets, Jerry, because I went with Inside Out.
Did you really?
I really did.
I won't fault you. I don't think there's a wrong answer with that.
I loved Star Wars The Last Jedi. I'm not one of the haters. There was a lot of stuff I didn't like about it, but as a movie, it's visually amazing. It has some great fight and battle scenes. It's got some good humor. It's got a lot of intrigue. It's got some twists and turns.
This is exactly why it won.
Honestly, Star Wars The Last Jedi, I believe, is a pretty good Star Wars movie.
Yep.
Now, Inside Out to me was so different, so original, so funny, and so heartfelt.
Yeah.
That it's just one that I know for a fact my children and our family will watch
forever
for the rest of our lives.
Yep, I agree.
And we'll watch Star Wars, of course, for the rest of our lives. But probably not The Last Jedi is not going to be high on our Star Wars rewatchability list.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
it's good. Last Jedi got unfairly trampled.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially the stuff like with Kylo Ren and Rey.
To me,
it was good.
To me, I just feel like Star Wars is so high on my list of things that it's going to beat out most other movies.
Yeah, it's totally fair. This was a tough one for me.
It is.
But I thought Inside Out was a pretty amazing movie.
It is a very amazing movie, and I think
Amy... who puts broccoli on pizza, Jerry?
Amy would have that movie very high
San
on her
Franciscans,
list.
that's who.
San Franciscans.
And they suck at hockey. All right, so our next matchup is a number 5 seed, Black Panther, versus a number 12 seed, The Conjuring.
I don't like very many horror movies, like whatsoever. The Conjuring is that.
Remember, folks, guys, you are not picking your favorite movies. You are trying to match mine and Jerry's brackets.
Correct.
If you picked horror movies, you're going to have a bad day.
Yeah, you lost.
The Conjuring for me is a non-starter.
Yeah.
Black Panther, I have seen it.
I have seen The Conjuring as well. I don't know why I watched it. I actually don't think I finished it.
I don't think I finished it. I don't think I even liked it, so I'm going with Black Panther.
As did I. Black Panther is the winner.
Black Panther is also one that I think we have judged harshly. Upon further viewings, it's pretty good.
It's very good,
but still not top 10 Marvel for me, but it's pretty good.
Right. We've judged it harshly because it's not top 10 Marvel. I mean,
right.
It's just not. I'm sorry.
Still fun, and a character that I dearly love, Black Panther. So.
Oh yeah, he's a phenomenal character. I like his claws.
Yeah, he's one of the coolest looking Marvel characters
by far,
and probably the closest to like a Wolverine, but not Wolverine.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Intriguing character. Our next one is a Wachowski joint.
Yeah,
that was based on the book Cloud Atlas. Versus a movie that I have never heard of, The Wind Rises.
I haven't either. I don't know what that movie is. I did see Cloud Atlas.
I didn't. By the way, there's some of these that me and Jerry have not seen. I've made that clear on Facebook. We are not going to go watch them all to prepare for this list. If we haven't seen them, there's probably a reason why we haven't seen them.
And I'm assuming a lot of you have not seen every single one of these movies either.
I have seen Cloud Atlas.
I have too.
It is not as good as the book. The book is very good.
I was looking forward to this movie before it came out. I remember watching trailers and I was really into it. And then I watched it. It's good, but not what I was expecting.
I got told about that book originally by a friend of mine, Patrick Burkhart.
Oh,
he liked that movie. And I remember, maybe I'm making this up, but I remember him telling me about that movie before it came out. and it kind of got me really excited about it. And
Oh.
I went and read the book. The movie came out. The book is way better. The movie is very difficult to understand.
I have not
follow.
read the book.
But it was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
I have Cloud Atlas winning this.
Winning that matchup.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, because none of us know what the other movie is.
Correct.
I didn't even look. The ones I didn't know, I didn't even go on Wikipedia and look up what they were.
So this next two.
We got a couple, yeah. So we got a number, I can't read that, 6 seed.
Yes.
Is that 16?
Yes, that's a 6.
Logan versus number 11 seed Avengers. So now we got some stiff competition here.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have different
Okay.
things here.
I had Logan.
Really?
Yeah.
I had Logan as well. I really thought you were going to put Avengers.
I love the Avengers.
I know you do.
It's fun. It's funny. But Logan's kind of a revelation, man. It's the first of its kind.
It is.
Well, so is the Avengers, though. They're both first of their kinds in comic book movies.
So this is exactly why I thought you were going to have Avengers
Yeah.
up there, because it is the very first like big comic book movie. Like
Come on.
big like
Logan's just badass.
it's just so good.
And it's loosely based on
It's
Old
so
Man
good.
Logan, which
Yeah.
is one of my favorite comic book series.
Yeah,
So
mine too.
we had to go Logan right
Yep.
there. Our next one is a number 3 seed, Moon,
Yep.
starring, what's that guy's name?
Oh, I can't think of it. Dang it,
I
you always
love
put
that
me on
guy.
spot. Oh, crap.
He's in the Marvel movies, too.
I know, I got to think of him.
Sam
Rockwell.
Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
Moon versus the girl with all the gifts.
Okay.
For me, this is easy because I don't know what that movie is. So my choice was Moon.
So was mine. I love that
Moon
movie.
is awesome. It's
Have
an awesome movie.
It is
Go
very, very
see
good.
Rent Moon. Go
He's
watch that.
basically the only character in that movie. He's
It's
like
probably
the only
free
actor.
on streaming.
It's so good.
It's probably on your Amazon or something for free.
Yep.
The next one is number 7 seed, Shape of Water versus number 10 seed, The Force Awakens. I was going to rent The Shape of Water. Or no, Shape of Water was on HBO. It just went off last week. I didn't get a chance to see it yet.
Okay, I watched it.
Was it as good as everybody says?
I love it.
I heard it's awesome.
Yeah, I really love it. I wanted to see it for such a long
I
time.
really wanted to see this movie, and I'm so pissed now it's off HBO, so I got to pay to watch it. But
Yeah. So, yes, The Shape of Water is an amazing movie. And then Star Wars Force Awakens is also an amazing movie.
yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is my choice because it was a transformative period
Yeah.
of my life when they decided to bring back Star Wars, something that we all thought was dead forever.
Yep.
And then they decided to remake it. We're talking about 2 to 3 years of anticipation and maybe a little bit of a letdown initially after first viewing in the theater. But upon my second and third viewing in the theater, I liked it more and more. And I just really enjoy that movie overall. It's just a fun jump back into the Star Wars universe. I think initially I was a little upset that they just kind of basically copied the other movies, but hey, when something works, it works, right?
I had a rough time with this one because I did love The Shape of Water, but I went back to my normal thing, and I love Star Wars,
Yep.
and Star Wars has to win.
There you go. So we both picked Star Wars. Our next one is a number 2, Snowpiercer, which is a comic book movie based on a French comic graphic novel.
Maybe, I don't know.
Versus Deadpool.
Have you seen Snowpiercer?
I never saw Snowpiercer.
I watched it.
Was it good?
No.
No. Okay. I never heard great things about it. I went Deadpool, of course. That's one of my favorite movies, so we're good.
Deadpool.
We both
Yes.
picked Deadpool. So we had the same brackets except for Inside Out and Last Jedi, right?
Yeah. So I'll just run through mine real quick. The winners. I had Rogue One, The Last Jedi, Black Panther, Cloud Atlas, Logan, Moon, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and Deadpool.
And I had Rogue One, Inside Out, Black Panther, Cloud Atlas, Logan, Moon, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and Deadpool. All right, we're going to go right down below that to the next bracket. We have a number 1 seed, Edge of Tomorrow, versus a number 16 seed, Pacific Rim.
I liked Pacific Rim. I never saw the second one.
I
But,
liked Pacific Rim as well.
but I have Edge of Tomorrow beating it.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
Terry.
Very good movie.
I have Edge of Tomorrow as well. That is a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, it's very good.
And it's basically a comic book movie.
They've
not
got
based
another
on a
one
comic
coming
book.
out.
That movie's great.
Yeah.
And super underrated. Like, it didn't get a big hype when it came out, but it's lived big time. Like, it had a long run in the theaters, and it built.
Yeah.
And then I think it's found a very good life afterwards.
Yeah, it has. It didn't do super
Very
good.
rewatchable too. Our next matchup was Captain America 8 seed versus Wonder Woman 9 seed. Boy, this could be a tough one, Jerry.
It was tough for me. It took me a little bit. I left it blank for a while.
It wasn't tough for me at all. It was Captain America Civil War.
I also put Civil War, but I do love Wonder Woman. You don't like Wonder Woman as much as I do.
No, I didn't. I wasn't a huge fan of Wonder Woman. The second half lost it for me in that movie. Chris Pine was excellent in it, and the first half was amazing with Gal Gadot.
I loved it because it was kind of a groundbreaking thing for women because it was like a main woman superhero.
Yeah,
You
even the
just
main
didn't get-
protagonist of the movie was Chris Pine. So
Well, not really.
pretty much.
It's named Wonder
He
Woman,
sacrificed his life to save the world.
but it's named Wonder Woman. It's about her.
Well, but without him, she would have
I
failed.
like Wonder Woman. You don't. That's fine. But Civil War won.
Civil War was great. Next one we got 2009. That's the first Star Trek reboot, right?
Yep.
With Chris Pine as well. Versus It Follows. I never watched It Follows. Although as far as horror movies go, it was probably one that actually intrigued me. I wanted to kind of see it.
Really? It doesn't even ring a bell to me. I don't even know what it is.
It looked cool, but it's Star Trek all the way.
Star Trek.
That was a great movie, that Star Trek movie.
Yeah, the very first one was very good.
So good. Kind of lost me a little bit in the second one. Was it the Wrath of Khan remake one?
I think so.
With Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch.
It was good too.
I
It
like
just
it.
It wasn't great. It wasn't as good as the original Wrath of Khan, which I think was something that kind of bugged
And
me.
the first Star Trek movie is just the best out of all of them.
It's badass,
It's
man.
very, very good.
So we both had the same one there. Next, we go to Gravity versus the Lego Movie. I have seen both.
As have I. I liked Gravity.
Gravity was a number 4 seed. Lego Movie was a number 13 seed. I didn't care for Gravity, to be honest. I thought it was boring. Lego Movie is a freaking awesome movie, and it's a clear winner for me.
It is a clear winner for me as well.
Big bracket upset.
Lego Movie wins over a 4 seed.
Whoever made that bracket was dumb.
Yeah, I don't know why you would put Gravity as a 4 seed.
This is where it's going to hurt some movies because they're getting bad matchups. So we'll go to the next one. We got a number 6 seed, Guardians of the Galaxy versus Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Which one was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Jerry?
Doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. Because
It doesn't matter because we'll never have to talk about it again because Guardians of the Galaxy destroys it.
Yes, it absolutely destroys it. Guardians of the Galaxy by far is the winner.
If you
there.
don't know, that was number 1 on my list of top 10 Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Next one down the list, we got number 3 seed Ex Machina versus number 14 seed Jason Segel led The Muppets.
The Muppets.
I'm a huge fan of The Muppets.
Are you?
Jerry, I love The Muppets.
I like the Muppets.
I love Jason Segel.
They're pretty good.
Jason Segel loves The Muppets, and he's the one that got that movie made.
Absolutely. I knew that.
It was a good movie, but it wasn't that good of a movie, actually. I'm lying. It wasn't that good, The Muppets. Ex Machina is a freaking monument of filmmaking.
Yeah.
So.
I really thought you were going to put the Muppets ahead
No,
of
I
Ex
love
Machina.
Ex Machina.
And
Ex Machina is great.
It's-
It's creepy. It's suspenseful. It's amazing.
And Oscar Isaac is amazing in it.
Oscar Isaac. And then another
good.
dude is super good, too.
Yeah, but all of them are very good. But Oscar Isaac, I just love his character and how.
What was the voice
shady
of
he
the
is.
robot? Was it
I don't
Scarlett
remember.
Johansson or something?
No, she was in Her.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll get to that one. Our next matchup is a really tough one. I'm not going to lie. Number 7, District 9 versus number 10, X-Men First Class. I love both movies.
Yeah, I like both of them a lot. District 9 was so different.
District
to me.
9 was so cool.
It
And
was
different.
Yeah, it's just different than what I'd seen.
I'm curious to see what you. I had a tough time with this.
I did too. I
went with X-Men First Class.
So did I.
It's a fun movie, man.
It is. I love First Class because I like how they brought it back to the younger days of X-Men.
It was a
you know?
great cast too, and I love J Law.
Yes, J-Law's awesome.
She's great.
Honestly, I like who's the guy who does oh gosh, I can never think of people's names when we do these.
Magneto,
No, the other guy.
Patrick Stewart, James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, man.
He's great.
He's such a good
He
actor.
should be Batman.
He could
Boom.
be. He could be.
I just blew your mind.
Yeah.
He should be Batman.
He could be. Yeah.
The next one we have another good matchup at number 2, How to Train Your Dragon versus number 15, Blade Runner 2049. Have you seen Blade Runner 2049, Jerry?
I have. Yes, I have.
I loved it.
I loved it as well.
Great movie.
But I have How to Train Your Dragon beating it.
Really? Why?
I do. I love How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
I think it's so cool.
That's
I love,
interesting, Jerry.
I love things about dragons.
Real cool, Gerald.
Yeah, I love things about dragons. Toothless.
Well,
He's like an amazing hero.
I have the correct pick here. How to Train Your Dragon.
No way.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you really?
Yeah, I liked Blade Runner a lot. How to Train Your Dragon is a great series of movies. I heard the new one's amazing.
Yeah.
You saw it, didn't you?
No, not the new one. Not the newest.
Dude went to see it.
Did he? It's out right now, right?
Dude, yeah. They went to see it. They said it was fantastic.
I
The
need
best
to-
one by far. I like the TV series on Netflix.
Yeah, that's really great.
It's good, man. And
I
I really
forced
like
the boys
what's
to
the
watch it.
dude? What's the voice?
I don't know.
Isn't he also from Freaks and Geeks or something?
No.
Jay Baruchel. Jay something.
Yeah,
He's in
it's
all
Jay
the.
something.
He's in Knocked Up. He's in all the Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah, and he did the.
I think
She's
he's
out of my
in
league.
Undeclared or
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, so just running down mine, I think we had the same exact picks.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow, Civil War, Star Trek, Lego Movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ex Machina, First Class, and How to Train Your Dragon. Same
Yep,
picks, Jerry.
Same picks for both of us.
Okay, we're going to go to the top right bracket. We have a pretty tough matchup here. Number 1, Arrival versus 16, Annihilation.
So, I feel bad here because I haven't seen Annihilation, and I need to see that movie. It looked like it was going to be pretty decent to me. It's something.
It looked cool. It had really bad reviews.
And I think this matchup is pretty good because they're similar.
They're
movies.
similar movies, close in tone.
Yeah.
Amy Adams in The Arrival, right?
Yep.
Natalie Portman in Annihilation.
Yes. So I wanted to see Annihilation.
I have seen The Arrival. I also have not seen Annihilation.
I have seen Arrival, and I put Arrival as winning because I haven't seen Annihilation, and I think that's an unfair judgment, but Arrival won it for me.
Okay. For me, I picked Annihilation.
But you haven't seen it.
Well, I have to annihilate Arrival because that movie sucked, and it got way too much praise, and it got like lauded over by Hollywood on how amazing it was, and I thought it was a boring, not good movie.
And you're going against your boy, Kevin Smith, who absolutely loves this movie.
He was wrong about that.
I liked it.
I thought it was boring. I thought there was huge plot holes in it, glaring potholes in it.
Okay.
Plot holes and potholes.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, and I like Natalie Portman, and even though I didn't see Annihilation, I'm going to give her the edge.
Okay. And I gave it to Arrival.
So if you guys think it's unfair that I'm making Arrival lose out to a movie I haven't seen, I don't really care.
Yeah, live with it.
So the next one, Coraline versus Thor Ragnarok. Jerry, this is laughable.
It is. I do love Coraline, and I love Neil Gaiman.
Fine.
I love Neil Gaiman in all of his glory because he's a phenomenal writer. But come on, Thor Ragnarok obviously just destroys that movie. It's
Not
not
even
a fair.
close.
It's not a fair matchup. I don't think they should have been matched up together, but they were. Thor Ragnarok winner.
Next one, we got number 5 seed Kick-Ass versus number 12 seed Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pick that out of as the only Harry Potter movie? I don't know.
I know that is the only Harry Potter movie,
And I
in
don't
here.
think it's probably one of the better Harry Potter movies. I really like Prisoner of Azkaban, and I liked the Order of the Phoenix, and I liked the last one,
here's
Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. Probably better than the Half-Blood Prince.
here's where a lot of people will get mad at me. I don't like any of the Harry Potters.
I don't like you at all. You're an idiot.
I don't like any of the Harry Potters. It doesn't catch my attention.
Have you watched them?
Of course.
Have you read the books?
No,
Read the books.
I will not.
Read
I have,
'em.
I have all of them.
Read every single one of them.
Amy read them.
What is wrong with you? Read those books. They're amazing.
I don't want to know that Harry's a wizard.
The books are a billion times better than the movies.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Okay.
You're a Harry wizard.
It was just tough, though. I really like Kick-Ass, and I like Mark Millar.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he do Kick-Ass?
He did, and that's why he won.
I like the
Kick-Ass.
actor that plays
Kick-
Kick-Ass. I liked Hit Girl.
Yeah,
I picked Harry Potter, though.
I picked Kick-Ass because it's better.
So I picked Harry Potter. You picked Kick-Ass.
Because it's better.
Harry Potter would kick Kick-Ass's ass.
Well, yeah,
Kick-Ass is like
he's a wizard.
kind of
a fun movie to watch.
It's a fun, great movie, but Kick-Ass himself gets his ass beat all the time.
Yeah, he's not a good character, but I like it better than Harry
Kick-Ass 2
Potter. I
better.
have a thing against Harry Potter.
Wasn't there
I don't know
Kick-Ass
why.
2?
Yeah.
Was that one with Jim
Jim Carrey. Yeah.
I like that one a lot. You know what movie was good? That Nicolas Cage movie where... Was that Kick-Ass? No, where he was...
He's
Come on, what's
the
that movie?
wizard.
No, not a wizard. Come on, stop
He's
it.
like a wizard.
No, the Nicolas Cage movie where he's a superhero and the young girl is like... is that Kick-Ass?
Yeah, he's the dad.
Yeah, okay.
He's like
He's
the
Hit Girl's
Batman-ish.
dad.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good, man.
Oh, there's another one though where he's like
Yeah, the
training-
sorcerer or
the
something.
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
No, it's not that one.
Yes, it is.
It isn't, Jerry.
Damn it, Chris. What is it then?
I don't know, but it's not that one.
I think it is that one.
No, it's Seasons of the Witch.
No, it's not what I'm thinking of at all. It's the Sorcerer's
Escape
Apprentice.
from Witch Mountain.
Wasn't that The Rock?
Is that The Rock or John
Dwayne The
Cena
Rock.
or something?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
The Rock.
Yeah. No.
Um,
So Kick-Ass won that. Next.
No, I think maybe I was thinking of Super with Rainn Wilson.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
That's good, too.
A very underrated movie.
Yeah, that was like
but
an
that's
indie
with
movie.
Ellen Page, your favorite.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It's such a good movie,
The
though.
ending is very shocking.
It's good.
Of that movie.
It's so good. Watch that movie, guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't
it's
seen
like
Super,
free on Netflix, I think.
it's so good. That was a what's that guy's name?
Rainn Wilson.
Rainn Wilson. Dwight.
I think he might have
He
directed
did.
that.
Yep. That was all his
Our
jam.
next matchup,
Her
with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson versus Avatar, the James Cameron classic.
epic.
Dances with Wolves inspired
And there's supposed to be like 7 more coming out that he's already filmed.
within like 1 year.
Yeah, and still hasn't put them out.
Dances with Wolves in Space with Blue Cats, folks.
yet. And it won. I picked it.
You picked it?
I picked
I
Avatar.
had a really, really tough time here. I really liked her.
Um
I thought that was a great movie.
yeah, it is a very good movie.
But come on. What do you... If you don't pick Avatar here and you're
Yeah.
trying to pick our brackets, you're an idiot.
I mean, Avatar clearly
Tear up
wins.
your bracket right now. Go home.
That was one of the few movies that I've seen in 3D, and I'm glad I did because
I
it
think
was amazing.
Her was a more maybe groundbreaking movie, and it was interesting, and it was conceptually awesome. But Avatar was the spectacle. Come on, it's like the first 3D movie. Come
It's
on,
a good way of putting it.
Get outta here.
Spectacle. It is a spectacle, and it was like the second 3D movie because the first one was Beowulf, and that was just awful. I fell asleep for that. Anyway,
War of the Planet of the Apes, number 6 versus
Hereditary.
Hereditary. I don't know what
was
that is.
another horror movie. And guess what? I didn't pick the horror movie because it sucks.
I don't know if I ever saw War of the Planet of the Apes. But
I did. I have.
Oh, I did see that one.
Yeah.
I've seen all of them.
And I don't think
That
any of
was
those
actually
movies are
pretty-
bad.
No, I really like all of them.
I do too. It just the
That was
other one
not
had
the
a bad
better.
matchup.
That was not the best of the 3. That was probably the worst of the 3.
Well, it won in my.
But it won in mine too. So we'll go down to number 3 seed Inception versus number 14
Midnight in Paris.
Midnight in Paris.
I didn't.
Jerry.
I didn't watch it in Paris.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Oui, oui, oui.
Do you know what that means?
I do not.
I don't know either, but it's from that movie Moulin Rouge.
I like to eat French fry
Moulin Rouge.
and duck.
Oh.
So
I went to Paris, by the way.
Yeah, well, Inception beats Paris
Um,
on my bracket. Inception.
Midnight in Paris was good.
I didn't see it.
I did see it. It's
Wasn't
a
that
Woody
with
Allen movie.
Owen Wilson?
Yeah, it was a Owen Wilson movie.
Whoa!
Whoa.
What's he say?
Whoa, guys.
Whoa!
Whoa.
That's you sound like
Kermit the Frog
yeah,
here.
you do not sound like Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Okay, I guess there is a little bit of hint to Owen Wilson.
You know what?
Wow.
I don't like...
That's what it is.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, guys.
Everything.
Look at my flat nose, guys.
Wow. Have you seen those GIFs or like little videos where everything is turned into wow?
No.
There's a lightsaber battle. There's a lightsaber battle where every time the lightsabers hit each other, it says wow.
Wow. Do you think that who do you think would win in a fight? Luke Wilson or Owen Wilson?
Luke Wilson by far.
Really?
Oh yeah. Luke Wilson absolutely would.
Why do you
Blow
say
him out
that?
of the water. He's just so edgy.
He's
you
not
know?
edgy. He's just like distant.
Yeah, I know. He's just depressed.
He's great in old school.
He's not scared to get beat up. I feel like Owen Wilson is so caught up in his nose being goofy that he doesn't want it to get goofier.
Well, you don't know about that,
And
Jerry.
he does it.
Whoa.
And he doesn't want to get hit.
Sir,
And
your seatbelt seems to be broken here. What do you recommend I do? I recommend you stop being such a faggot. You're in the back seat.
Wow.
That's from Old School. I don't know if you
That's
remember
good.
that line.
I do.
It's one of my favorite lines of that movie. I shouldn't say that word. It's a hot button.
Hot button.
Hot button. I picked Inception. Inception. Guess what? That movie was awesome.
Oh gosh, is that a mind bender?
A mind
That also
melter.
has Ellen Page in it.
Kind of like Doctor Strange,
That's funny.
but like Doctor Strange in Doctor Strange in Doctor Strange. Wasn't Cillian Murphy in that too?
I don't remember.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Killian? Somebody pronounced it Killian the other day.
But it's a C. It's not a K.
It's Killian.
You don't say a C like that.
Irish red Killians.
With a K?
Yeah, but somebody said it was Killian.
Maybe it is. I'm going to call it Cillian until I hear him say the
Killing
name.
me softly with his
Inception.
love. Inside. Killing me softly day by day.
Yeah, get it.
Killing me softly.
Who sings that?
With his love.
I don't remember. Who sings that? Killing Me Softly.
With his love.
Why can't I think of her name?
Strumming my pain on the window. I don't know
That's
if the
not
words
the right
are.
words. It's strumming my something.
It's the Fugees.
Oh, the Fugees. Yeah, but Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill.
She's the lead singer. She's the one singing that. Next.
Next song. Next song.
No, the next battle
Next
would
battle.
be between Scott
Number
Pilgrim,
7. Scott Pilgrim versus the world. Jerry,
the whole
versus
world, Skyfall.
with Javier Bardem.
Yeah, he's the baddie.
This is a tough one. This is a toughie, folks.
It is a tough one.
We're gonna diverge.
I kind of feel bad.
We're gonna diverge.
I love 007, but I picked Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. I kind of feel bad because 007 is such a like iconic set of movies.
I gotta go with Adele, man.
And I
Skyfall.
feel like I should have, but I did. I went Scott Pilgrim, so live with it. That's what I picked.
I went Skyfall.
Wow.
That's a great movie, man.
It
That
really
movie
is.
rocks. That movie
It is.
rocks. It's amazing. Scott Pilgrim's good too, but Skyfall's amazing.
I do like Scott Pilgrim because it's so different.
Let's get out of here and do number 2 seed, Get Out versus Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, so they put another Planet of the Apes in here. So they put all 3 Planet of the Apes, and they only put 1 Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Strange.
We should make our own bracket next year.
So once again, I didn't pick a Planet of the Apes movie, and I picked Get Out.
Really?
Oh, have you seen Get Out?
I have not watched it yet, Jerry.
It's pretty good.
It's on HBO though. It's coming up this week. I'm going to watch it. We
It's
can
pre-
review it.
It's pretty good.
I picked Rise of the Planet of the Apes simply because I haven't seen Get Out. I'm sure if I'd seen Get Out, I would put that in the
I
top.
think you would put it as a winner because
But Rise
I think Get Out's
of the
pretty
Planet of
good.
the Apes is the first one, right?
And it's
Yes.
it is.
And it's by far the best one. No, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is the first one.
Oh, that's right.
Shit.
Well, either way,
I want to pick Get Out because I know it's better,
but you didn't.
but I didn't because I haven't seen it. So I'm
Yeah.
picking Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So my picks are Annihilation. We have a lot of divergence here, by the way.
we do.
Annihilation, Thor Ragnarok, Harry Potter, Avatar, War of the Planet of the Apes, Inception, Skyfall, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
And mine was Arrival, Thor, Kick-Ass, Avatar, War of the Planet of the Apes, Inception, Scott Pilgrim, Get Out.
Okay, on to the bottom bracket on the right side. Here we got some toughies here.
Oh, it is.
Okay, for our first one, we got the number 1 seed, Attack the Block.
Yep.
Attack the Block. Attack the Block.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I don't know why you're doing that either.
The British Bad Boys versus the Hunger Games. This is tough. Attack the Block's super good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real good. It should definitely win, but I got to go with J-Law.
You did?
I got to go with
You
J-Law.
had the big upset?
I got to go with J-Law.
I had the big upset too.
No, stop
I
it.
put Hunger
Who
Games.
picks the Hunger Games over Attack the Block?
I did. And so did you.
I know.
I loved Hunger Games. I read all the books.
Okay, the only reason I picked that is because I read the books. The movies are vastly inferior to the books.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the
books are so much better.
The third Hunger Games book sucks. The movie was actually better.
Yeah. I thought the third Hunger Game book was better than the second Hunger Game book.
The second and third Hunger Games books sucked hard. But the
The
movies
second
were
one-
better. The first Hunger Games book was good, though.
The second one sucked hard. The third one didn't suck as hard.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The first one's phenomenal.
All three movies are great, though.
But we both have the Hunger Game movie winning
Yeah, we
against
do.
Attack the Block.
Next
Wow.
one, we got another toughie. We
Oh,
got
man.
a little, what's that dude's name? In Looper?
Just something Gordon Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt.
It's just a delightful.
Gosh, I love him.
He should be Batman.
From Third Rock from the Sun.
He was supposed to be Robin.
He was supposed to be Robin. They built it up as that.
He should be Batman now.
I love him. He's
We got
a very good
Looper
actor.
versus Captain America Winter Soldier. It's not fair putting these two against each other because Winter Soldier is one of the best.
Yeah, I don't know.
Marvel movies.
I don't know why you'd put Looper in there. And they have it ranked higher as an 8.
No, I'm
Which
just saying it's not fair to put them against each other.
I know.
why Looper's in there.
I don't think it's an 8, though. An 8 seed. I think it's lower than that.
Oh, well, maybe. What'd you pick?
I picked Winter Soldier, obviously.
I picked Looper.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
I absolutely did.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's a great
you
movie.
sick?
I like Looper a lot.
Well, I like Winter Soldier a lot better.
I like Winter Soldier a lot, too. I would definitely rewatch Winter Soldier more. But as far
Did you
as...
honestly pick Looper?
I picked Looper.
It's a good sci-fi film.
It's a good sci-fi film. I love sci-fi, and it was unexpected. I should put it that way. I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't even know about that movie before I watched it.
I really didn't either.
I don't even think I saw it in theaters. I think I'd never heard of it, and then it was on video, and I watched it, and I'm like, holy cow, this is a good movie.
Here's the thing, and this might go against the general public. I'm not a huge Bruce Willis fan.
No, I'm not either.
No? Really?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
Yeah, I'm not.
Moonlighting.
The only thing I
It's really
really
good
like him in
Moonlighting.
is Die Hard, obviously.
What about the whole 9 yards?
No, not a big fan of that.
What else has he been in?
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah. He's really
He's good in that, yeah.
Unbreakable. It's good in that.
Oh, he is good in that too.
I haven't seen Glass yet.
I don't know.
I heard that was good.
I don't think he's a very nice person though.
Sixth Sense.
Oh damn, that he was in that too, huh?
I see dead people.
Yeah, I know you do. You look like a dead person.
That was a genuine. That movie should be in here. Why is The Sixth Sense not on
Because
this
it's
list? Oh,
not
not
the last 10 years.
Oh, and you know what else is about wrong with this list? Like Endgame isn't in here. Doctor Strange isn't in here.
Yeah, I don't
Spider-Man: Homecoming isn't in here.
know. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know when this
This
came
is an
out.
old list, guys. Just go with it. Don't stop complaining.
Okay, well I put Winter Soldier. You picked Looper.
Next one, number 5, Cabin in the Woods, starring Thor himself. Wasn't Chris Hemsworth in that?
Was he? I don't know.
Versus Captain America: The First Avenger. I've genuinely heard Cabin in the Woods is a spectacular movie.
I have seen it.
That's a Joss Whedon produced movie by the guys who wrote Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, I have seen it, and I don't remember it,
Okay.
but I know for a fact I've watched
I
it.
got it confused with that one movie where the friends go out into the cabin and then they get like some flesh-eating disease. It was big when we were like in high school.
I'm not.
What was
I
that
don't know.
cabin movie? Cabin Fever is what it was called. Anyway, I
Not good.
I haven't seen Cabin in the Woods. I went for Captain America.
I also went Captain America: The First Avenger
Okay,
because
so
it's better.
our next one is Your Name. Is it? What's your name?
Your Name. I don't know.
Your name.
So
Jerry.
this is the only matchup where I don't know either movie.
It's not that I don't know them. It's that I've never even heard of them, Jerry.
Well, then it is like you don't know them.
So let's get.
So I didn't know Your Name, and I didn't know Only Lovers Left Alive. Both of those movies sound like a B film that I've never wanted to watch.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a little something real quickly about them. I know we're running out of stuff here, but Your Name is a 2016 Japanese animated romantic fantasy drama film written and directed by Makoto Shinkai and produced by blah blah the film blah blah blah.
Something I don't want to see then.
High school girl, whatever, lives in a fictional town in the Japanese mountains. She is bored with the country life and wishes to be a handsome boy in her next life. She begins switching bodies intermittently with Taki Chachibani, a high school boy in Tokyo. When they wake up, they communicate by writing messages on paper, their phones, and sometimes each other's skin. Mitsui causes Taki to develop a relationship with his coworker. I don't know. That sounds pretty interesting.
It does sound interesting.
The other one, Only Lovers Left Alive, is a Jim Jarmusch movie written and directed by Jim Jarmusch. He did Slackers, which...
okay.
I think he did Slackers.
Yeah, that name doesn't ring a bell to me, though.
Tilda Swinton's in it.
Ooh, she's a good actress.
So
She's
Adam,
crazy.
Tom Hiddleston, an underground musician, reunites with his lover for centuries after he becomes depressed and tired with the direction humanity has taken. Their love is interrupted and tested by her wild and uncontrollable little sister.
Wow.
Wow.
Owen Wilson says wow.
I'm going to go with Only Lovers Left Alive because I love Tom Hiddleston and I like Tilda Swinton.
That's awesome. I went with Your Name.
Okay. I would normally go with that because I do like Japanese animated movies.
Yeah, I went with Your Name. I wrote it down because I didn't know either one of them.
God, I just
Sorry.
thought of a movie that should have been on my top movies list.
What?
Spirited Away.
Don't
It's
know
a
it.
great movie. Anyway.
The next one is the matchup is The Martian and Under the Skin. Under the Skin.
Like Under the Sea?
Under the Skin. Under the Skin.
Life is much better under the dermis. Listen to me.
Under the dermis, where you're all bloody.
Out there, the sky is so hot. You get the sunburn a lot.
I am not going to continue with that.
A mysterious young woman seduces lonely men in the evening hours in Scotland. However, events
Sounds like my
lead
Saturday.
her to begin.
Right?
However, the events lead her to begin a process of self-discovery. Stop it, whoever made this list. This is dumb. That doesn't even sound like a sci-fi film. Loser.
Under
Martian.
the Skin. The Martian one, definitely. That is an awesome movie.
It gets getting under my skin that they're picking shitty movies.
Yep, I agree.
But The Martian would have beat anything that
It's
goes there.
so
Because that movie's
good.
awesome. And Matt Damon.
So good.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Oh, that's a good pull.
That,
Matt Damon.
hey.
Wow.
Wow. Matt Damon.
Wow, Matt Damon.
Well, guys, it's Matt Damon. I'm going to pick The Martian.
I did too.
Okay, next we got Toy Story 3 versus Zootopia.
Zootopia. I love Zootopia. Great movie.
Two great movies.
You can't beat Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3, hands down.
Winner.
I love
winner.
Zootopia, but there's one big thing that pisses me off about that movie.
Oh, what?
They are directly making fun of farmers and country folk.
Yeah, they do.
And
Because their
in a
parents
very
are like
obvious way.
hillbillies.
They're all like hill rods.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I gotta get out of here. This place is worthless. These people that live here are idiots. I gotta go to the city.
Yeah, they aren't worth anything.
You know what? Guess what? Keep shitting on farmers, everyone. See
Yeah.
how your life in the city lasts.
Right.
When you got no food.
Or stuff.
When you got no carrots coming from the carrot farm.
Yeah. Did you know everything's made out of soy?
Yeah.
Right? Or corn?
Yeah.
Right? Right, Chris?
I did. When you got no carrots up there in that city, let's
Yeah.
see how you do Judy Hopps.
Or plastics?
Judy Hopps.
Yeah.
A little obvious with the last name there.
Hops, yeah. Beer making.
But I did
That's
like
what
that
they're
movie.
talking
But Toy
about,
Story
right?
3 has an intense scene at the end that just makes it great.
Yeah, we talked about that on a prior podcast.
Overall, maybe Zootopia could be a better movie, but the scenes at
I
the
don't-
end of Toy Story 3 are really good.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Toy Story 3 has just so much gravitas.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let's go to the next one. He grabbed an invisible scrotum when he said that.
I did. And just grabbed it.
Gravitas.
The next one is The Witch and What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay. Which witch, Jerry? Because there's so many witch movies. I don't
I
even
hate
know.
witches.
What's the witch movie here?
I don't know. Don't care.
Which witch?
Stupid.
2015.
The Witch.
A family in the 1630s New England is torn apart by the forces of witchcraft, black magic, and possession.
Dumb.
Loser.
Yeah.
You know why?
Oh, it's
it
like
doesn't really
every
matter
other witch
because it
movie.
has to go against What We Do in the Shadows. which
Yeah.
is freaking awesome.
Very good movie.
Have you seen that?
I have.
Do you
and
know there's a show coming out about that?
there is?
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
Same people.
No, I mean like what
What network?
platform? Yeah.
I want to say Amazon, but hold on, let me see.
Because I knew it wouldn't be like a.
FX. It's FX.
Is it really?
Yeah, FX has the movies, Jerry.
Oh, it is. What we do in the shadows?
I just love the Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah. Have you seen him do that rap?
Which one?
The
Which one, Jerry?
I get it. I see what you did there. The rhinoceros and
Oh yeah, I've seen them all.
Yeah, it's so good.
Did you see their new comedy special that's out?
No,
It's just live in London.
really? No,
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's yeah, it's really good. They're great.
So
Jermaine and
yes,
Brent.
Jermaine.
Brent, is it Brent? Brent?
Yes, sure. Yes, that's what we will go with. Brent.
Okay.
Brett?
For our last first round.
So you had what we do in the shadows winning?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
It's
did
a
I.
No-brainer.
Good work.
For our last one, guys,
Wow.
this is a toughie.
Okay.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse versus X-Men Days
A future
Future Past,
past.
which was a very good X-Men
Loved
movie.
it, but it just
It brought together both worlds of the X-Men.
yeah. But let's get real here.
It literally
Chris.
brought the old movies in with the new movies. Don't you think that's pretty freaking incredible?
How can you pair these two together though when it's just gonna get so crushed by a movie that I think is the best movie that came out of 2018?
I guess we know what is going to be in his championship bracket.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse
I picked it as well.
won that round easily.
I don't know about easily, but they're both good movies. But Spider-Man won.
You don't know about easily? What's wrong with your brain?
Okay, so my rundown. Hunger Games, Looper, Captain America, Only Lovers Left Alive, The Martian, Toy Story 3, What We Do in the Shadows, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Wait a second. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse just came out, and it's on this list, but there's no Endgame.
Oh,
There's no
yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Well, Endgame hasn't come out yet. You can't
Why
put that.
did we do this?
We haven't even seen Endgame. Nobody has.
I mean, I'm sorry, Infinity War.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's
yeah.
Make our own list.
We're gonna have to. My
Directly
rundown
after
here-
we finish this bracket, we're going to do an April bracket.
we should.
We're
We
just
really
gonna-
should.
We should just keep it going. But this
April.
one, keep doing this one, guys, because you're going to win stuff.
So I have Hunger Games, Winter Soldier, Cabin in the Woods, Your Name, The Martian, Toy Story 3, What We Do in the Shadows, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Winning it. So our first round is complete. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Do you?
I had really very little hard choices there.
Yeah, I think this first round was a very easy.
I think the
thing
next round,
There, so we have what, like 2 or 3 different? I think like about 3 different total.
no, more than that. I think we probably got 5 or 6 different ones.
Either way, very close to the same bracket, and I'm wondering. I really do wonder what you're gonna have in the championship because I just don't know how. I don't know how you're gonna pick some things.
Well, I know what I'm going to have.
You do?
Yeah.
You do know.
Well, I haven't filled up the rest of the bracket yet.
You haven't? Oh, I did. I filled the
I'm
whole
going
thing
week
out.
to week, man.
No, I filled the whole thing out. I'm ready to rock.
But you guys, you can't go week to week. You have to submit the entire bracket up front. Listeners.
Yeah, right. Correct. I agree. With
I'm
that.
allowed to do that because I'm in charge of this.
You're
mess.
in charge of everything, right? That's
So
good.
I think that went very well, Jerry.
I liked it. It's very fun.
I don't think we have time for what's in the box.
We don't. No, we don't have time for what's in the box, but we do next week.
We'll have more time next week because we have less picks to make.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be much quicker. Every week it'll be much quicker than the last.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens? It's like people lose, and then you have less of them to get down to the end. Like there's less and less teams.
Oh, is that
'Cause I know you don't know about basketball.
is
and-
that
and
the one where you
brackets.
potty shot from the
Yeah.
free throw line?
Yeah, and then as you win things,
I just call
Other
that
people
that
lose.
one sport that Terry Meisner cut me from in 6th grade.
oh yeah, I was cut in 5th grade, but I made it 6th, 7th, and 8th. I was basically the phenomenal starting point guard of all of Mazan basketball in 8th grade, only because there was like 5 or 6 of us on the team. So that was pretty good. I don't know.
Pretty worthless in the paint. But
Yeah. Oh, terrible in the paint. But, man, I was like Steve Kerr at the three-point line.
how many three-pointers do you think you made in your junior high school career?
4.
Bullshit. I'm not even going to give you one. I'm going to say you
Oh,
hit
no,
0.
I absolutely did. I absolutely think it was like exactly 4. I'm serious.
Okay.
David Seedentop will chime in on this because
David,
he was the best player on the
David,
team.
I need a check here.
He basically lives his life off of how well he did in 7th and 8th grade basketball. It's just ridiculous. It's almost disgusting.
Wait, didn't you guys like play with like
So good.
really good players like Joe and like Robert Rexroad?
Yeah, Robert was on the team,
Yeah,
but
he's
that was
way better than you.
there's some argument there, but he's okay.
He's on a state-winning basketball team.
And he's 2 foot taller than I am. Like, he is literally like 18 inches taller than me.
Well,
That's ridiculous.
are we blowing our time out here in the water?
Yeah, we're done. No, we're 155.
Okay.
So we're good. But that's this week, man. That's all I got.
There's so much more, Jerry, that I want to do.
I know.
There's so much more that I want to talk about.
Just calm it. We'll talk about it next week.
That's so far away.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this orange vanilla Coke Zero that I just drank?
That sounds disgusting, and I don't
It
know
was
why.
not very good.
So stupid. That vanilla Coke in general is stupid.
They
and
stopped carrying Diet Cherry Coke at Casey's.
ooh,
Or no, I mean Diet Cherry Pepsi. That's what I drink.
I do like cherry Pepsi a lot.
Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi. is
But
what
I don't
got.
drink. I literally haven't drank pop very much. I did drink a Mountain Dew yesterday, if you can believe it. I had
You
had
dude the dew?
I did the Dew. I did the Dew, and I haven't done the Dew in literally 10 years.
There's nothing better in the world than doing the dew.
And I did it yesterday.
Guys, we didn't even.
Boy, did I
do we
feel
have time
like
to talk about the fact that I wrote a bunch of comic book pages?
we don't actually. I'm sorry. We'll talk about it next time.
I wrote like 4 pages.
You wrote, yeah, I know you wrote a lot. I'm very impressed.
I wrote a very sensual.
Can we all just hang on a second?
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really good.
I wrote a very sensual,
Oh,
sexual,
yeah, you're getting after it.
4-page
Spread.
spread, if you will. Spread eagle.
Don't say that. You can't say that. Well, you can.
It was,
you did.
It
just say
was. It was pretty.
intense. I haven't read
pretty
any of
intense.
it.
You haven't read it yet.
Am I gonna feel uncomfortable?
Don't read it in front of me, guys. I'll blush.
You wrote it. How are you gonna blush? But if I read it, I might blush because I'm very. What's the word? Like
Puritanical?
yeah, I'm a Puritan. Puritanical. That's
It's
not
really
a word.
weird to write out sexual scenes
Intercourse?
into a comic book.
Did you like describe it?
I had to like look up.
Oh my gosh, I'm already uncomfortable.
I had to like look up what sex
Wait.
is. Jerry.
Wait, you have 3 kids, Chris. Are you the father?
No, I had to look up like what dialogue words to put.
I had
You
to
know,
look up-
like how do you? This is getting too
Oh,
intense.
I was gonna say, never mind.
How do you write out like certain noises and stuff?
Well, I don't know. What noises? What noises are you talking about?
Stay tuned, guys.
Like-
We'll talk about this more in depth next week.
Probably a lot of pig noises, like rooting around. Yeah. Oh, I knew it. I nailed it.
We'll see.
That's David. That's another thing David's gonna get all worked up about. Pig noises.
The David episode.
This is very.
This has been David Talk.
Yep, you'll love it, Dave. D, Heavy D. That's his nickname. We have those nicknames for each other.
Oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, for Snarf Talk,
This is Chris.
I'm Jerry.
See ya.
Bye.